Welcome to Love to See It, a podcast about lust and its consequences. Because God forbid someone be lustful on Love Island. It's about love. My God, keep it together. But before we dive in, a little housekeeping. You may have noticed Emma has not popped up yet. That is because Emma is on maternity leave. She had her baby over the
Congrats.
weekend. Yay, we're very excited. It was a little earlier than we expected, but everything went very smoothly. She wrote a little bit about it over on Rich Text, and we're just so excited for her to have this time to bond with her little girl, and we'll be excited to have her back at the end of her leave. But for now, joining me today to fill in this week are Game of Roses co-hosts Lizzy Pace, aka Pace Case, and Chad Kulchin, aka Bachelor Clues. And I'm so grateful to have you guys here, both because you're so insightful and also because I didn't want to talk to myself all episode. So thank you for being here.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. No one should have to talk to themselves about the season of Love Island.
I like to
Ever.
think Chad and I add up to an Emma.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
I think she would agree with that. Also, if you missed Emma's and my earlier recaps of Love Island USA and our wrap up on Farmer Wants a Wife, scroll back in the feed. You can find Rich Text over on Patreon. Our most recent episode was about Every Year After and Off Campus, as well as the aftermath episode of Summer House. So you can find that conversation and more at patreon.com/richtext.
Do I need to watch Off Campus?
I'm obsessed.
Okay, yes.
But
I'm out of it.
not everyone agrees. Definitely don't watch Every Year After.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I've
Shots
never
fired.
heard of that one. I mean, I love all the Dawson's Creek-esque shows.
Did you watch
Teen
The Summer I
dramas.
Turned Pretty?
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to watch Every Year After. It's
Wait, why?
it's the I slept with two brothers at the waterfront again, but worse.
But
Kind of.
is it like Pizza, where I slept with two brothers, summer, always good?
In my experience, no. But,
Oh.
you know,
Damn.
it's watch it yourself if you wish and let me know what you think.
There's a two-brother storyline on Love Island UK right now. I'm catching up. It's great.
There kind of is on Love Island USA as well.
Yeah.
Right,
an
because-
implied
Yes,
brother.
a ghost brother, Charlie.
The Ghost Brother. So speaking of Love Island USA, we should dive in because there's a lot to cover. We're dialing it all the way back to episode 14 last Thursday, if you can recall. And we pick up with the aftermath of the mailbox recoupling. Sincere tells Melanie after he picks her with the letter that he's definitely 100% done exploring soul. Maybe this time he means it.
Sure.
I think he means all these things when he's saying them, but then there's just a new person in front of him.
Yeah. I kind of feel like this time he meant it because he was really eager to get Soul out of the way.
Clearly. That's what we thought Soul's elimination was, basically an execution by him. Now,
Yes.
we don't have video evidence of that in the cut. What we did see, it felt like he was pushing very hard to have Soul be the one that was removed.
We have
We
evidence
then-
from Casey that he's the only one who wanted to keep Soul.
Yeah, I got the sense that it was the other guys were neutral and Sincere beat out Casey with his desire to have her out of the way. Corbin and Kenzie are just thrilled to be reunited. I'm sure that's going to last. They're probably going to get married. Kenzie specifically is happy to kiss him and have him back in her bed because of their deep spiritual and intellectual connection.
Yes, definitely not lustful in any capacity.
Not
There
lustful,
is no lust
no
coming
French
from
fries,
Kenzie.
no DJ.
Yeah, no French fries, no DJing, which are different things, we think.
Are they? Okay, what do you
can't
think
tell.
French fries is? Clues and I have been debating this a lot.
I thought it was, and I'm so sorry to say this in a public forum, but I think it was fingering. No.
Now,
yeah, I
we-
think so too.
Yeah.
We Googled this, and there's an acronym that Planned Parenthood came up with
Clues
called
is
FRIES.
definitely not right.
That's not what
Definitely
it
not
is.
right. Clues is spreading misinformation.
This is
This
not
is not misinformation. I
Yes, it
can
is.
find it for you right now. Planned
Urban
Parenthood.
Dictionary also has some weird sex act that they claim it is, but that doesn't mean that that's what Kenzie meant.
Planned Parenthood, okay, FRIE's acronym defines the key pillars of healthy sexual consent. Freely given, that's your F. Reversible, that's your R.
F.
Informed is your I. Enthusiastic is your E. Specific is your S.
So you think she was describing the
Yes.
nature of the consent in their interaction?
I believe so. That's what
okay.
I choose to believe moving forward.
That's honestly, that would make me a lot happier.
I think
as
it's
well.
letter F, finger bang.
Yeah.
Finger bang
She
to me
is
is the
not
only
lustful.
term for it after Summer House.
Plus, like, I think a finger is sort of shaped like a French fry. I think we can all agree, so it seems intuitively true. I don't know. So Kenzie has to let Caleb down easy, and she's like, "You're the cutest cowboy that's come in here." And he says, "Probably because I'm the only." And she says, "I don't know," which means, yes, it's because you were the only one.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know. These other guys might also
know.
be cowboys. They just haven't expressed that to us yet.
Yeah, and if they were, then they would be the cuter cowboy than you.
Yeah. Exactly.
But let's get into the Sincere and Soul fallout because that's a big part of this episode. So the next morning, Sincere tells the boys that Soul was, quote, caught in the crossfire. He does not specify who was firing, but definitely him. He says his feelings weren't really real, just for right now. Like the feelings he had for Soul were just very temporary in the moment feelings. This is such a classic, like, dating show cop-out to be like, all the bullshit I fed you wasn't bullshit because in the exact moment I was saying it, it was real. It just had no...
When
you
I
can't hold
said
me
to
accountable
her,
for that.
"Hi, beloved," she was beloved to me in that moment. She was.
I did think it was really funny that she read into that because it's sort of like saying, like, the diner waitress being like, "Oh, hi, honey." Like, "Hi, sweetheart." Like, that's not...
No, but beloved is
Intimate.
I don't think I've heard anybody ever call anyone that in a dating show. That's like a hardcore, high-level love bombing technique, in my opinion. To say, "Hello, my beloved." It's almost like out of Bram Stoker's Dracula or something, too. But yeah, for my money, Soul was like, I think had the promise of being one of the best players this season. I was extremely sad she was not made an OG because I think she just got such a bad deal.
Let's get into her conversation with Sincere because she's talking with Jen. She's like, "I finally realized that Sincere was fake and full of shit now that he's done it to me and not just to Melanie right in front of my eyes." So she's furious. She's like, "Eat my ass after I shit, Sincere."
Yes.
We've all said that.
Sure, yeah. And so she goes and talks to Sincere and she's like, "You know what? You're not sincere. You're not honest. You could have just told me you still had feelings, et cetera, et cetera." And Sincere is like, Yep, totally. But I wasn't faking it. I meant everything I said. It's just that Melanie was always in the back of my mind. Maybe I could have been more honest about that," which is kind of all that Soul is saying, which is, yes, you should have been more honest about that. And Soul kind of goes off on him. She's like, "You should just be honest then. Like, you're full of shit." And finally he says, "Are we just going to talk about what I did wrong?" Which I think we can all agree that's what this conversation is about. It's about what he did wrong.
I am just curious what he thinks Soul did wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
Lustfulness?
He's like, "You're not just going to walk around like you're an angel." And she's
Yeah,
like,
that
"What did I
line.
do to you?"
What is that
Yeah.
referencing?
She's no angeling Soul. He's like, "You're not a victim. You've done bad things in your life." I wonder if what he's trying to imply is that she knew that he was being shady towards Mel and that she was involved in that. But he doesn't get to call her out on that, if anyone.
No
And
one gets to call her out on that. That's the circumstance of the game. What's a bombshell supposed to do?
People do get called out on things they do in the service of the game, though. You know, I think, like, if Mela wanted to call her out for moves she made with Sincere, I would understand that. But I don't think that Sincere, being complicit in that, has any standing to say, you knew what this was all about and you were fine with it, so you're no angel.
Yeah.
He was lying to her.
It's a strange
Or
thing
something
in Love
cut.
Island where your kind of sworn duty as a bombshell is to come in and blow shit up. That said, you also know when you come in, the kind of like double-edged sword of that is if you fuck up too much shit, no one's going to like you and you're not going to be able to make SpawnCon with anybody when you come out of the show. So you have to kind of watch your step a little bit while also trying to step on toes. You're like trying to step on toes just enough to get in there, but not enough to piss somebody off so bad that you're like persona non grata in the friend group after the show ends. I just think it's like I personally think there are mechanical issues with Love Island that need to be solved, because it kind of invalidates its own premise a little bit. Like there's no point in having bombshells really at this stage in the evolution of Love Island.
I would agree that it has a problem with mechanics. I think it has more ways of solving that than, say, Perfect Match. Like the forced recouplings and votes can kind of press the issue sometimes, which is needed. But at the same time, I'm sort of like, what comes along with being a bombshell is accepting that the OG girls are not going to be thrilled that you are coming for their man. I feel like Soul did not actually do very well as a bombshell. She took everything personally. She expected everyone to bury their own feelings to make her feel comfortable and welcome, and like her experience was being prioritized. But was she really considering how her presence was affecting them emotionally? I don't think so. But like the result was that she got sent home early,
She's
looking
no
like a sore
angel.
loser. I'm sorry. Like,
No, I totally agree with you about her attitude of feeling that she was the one being victimized in there. That's why I think she should have been an OG. Her play style is much more OG than it is bombshell. Generally speaking, I think out of your bombshells, you want somebody who kind of likes stepping on the toes and is going to fuck shit up and like, I don't care, I'll take your man. That type of a person. She is not that type of a person. And that's why I think it was bad producing that they made her a bombshell, because you can see in her, at least I thought I could, a level of play of this game that was exceptionally high. And she just never got to do it because she was put in this situation as a bombshell where, and correctly so, she identified the problem. I came in, everybody's closed off. What am I supposed to do? And that is true for all the bombshells,
I mean, it
It's just
depends
like
on when you come into the game. Like, I would say in a normal season, people aren't as closed off in the average season as they are in this season at the point she comes in. Usually the first few bombshells, like, at least have a chance. Amaya Papaya, etc. I thought Soul was a good bombshell because she's throwing a wrench in Melanie and Sincere, one of the strongest couples, as well as Casey and Aniya, who seemed untouchable.
she definitely threw a wrench in the show, which was like really welcome. And maybe that's why people immediately, I think, latched on to her in this way that I found really astonishing, because I felt we had gotten to know her so little that I didn't really see where such a deep attachment was coming from. And
because she got that thing.
Parasocial gaze.
I think that she
it's
could
like-
have done more, though. Like, I think that she could have shaken things up more. For example, Casey ends up talking to her and being like, well, I kind of wanted to explore more with you. I'm into you. I'm attracted to you. And she's kind of like, well, you should have shot your shot sooner. Why are you kind of now brushing KC off just because he didn't make a hard play for you earlier? You should have been making a hard play for KC. You should have been making a hard play for as many guys as you would consider in that house as a bombshell. And instead, it seems like she picked her guy and then was hurt that she didn't immediately just get him handed to her on a silver platter.
That's an OG play style. That's what I'm saying.
She's
not a bombshell.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
The thing that you're talking about, like why people gravitated toward her almost immediately, I think is because she has that thing that all reality, like high level reality stars have, which is you are just glued to them. And that is not a play style necessarily. It's not anything specific. It's just like she has that thing. And I think they squandered it when they made her a bombshell.
I guess she does, because people loved her. I felt like she gave me nothing, to be honest. I was not interested in her. But
Well,
that's
Lizzy,
me.
you were right. She is number 2 on the total followers chart with 894 cumulative, right behind Sean, who's at 1.7.
I mean, I just like the first few people are getting such huge bumps now. I'm like, to me, this is a legitimate strategy. Although, like, if I'm Soul, I'm going for the lowest hanging fruit. You just got to get in there. I'm going Caleb.
Well, that's the thing. You got to go for whoever might be an option to keep you in the villa.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about Couples Island, you might have been playing into that. I think we need to keep moving. So let's talk about. Unfortunately, we could all talk about each topic in this long doc for hours. So let's talk about Gabriel and Jen. They're still progressing that night. They have a sit-down talk. They're like, it's going so well. She tells Gabrielle that they have more in common than they think, like being outside and music, and they love touching each other. So
I mean, the scene where they were touching each other in the round circle room, say less. I was like, okay.
they do like touching each other. I think we can agree on that. And being outside and music.
Those are two
What's wrong with that?
prerequisites to be on Love
Yeah.
Island, I think.
They've narrowed it down to like only 80% of the population who fits into that particular Venn diagram. So,
Yeah.
so the vote results are coming in, and before those arrive, Bryce and Casey sit Soul down and ask her how she's been doing in the villa. And Soul basically expresses that she feels left out. She doesn't feel wanted. She doesn't feel like anyone is open to her. And Casey asks, is there anything we can do to help with that? I guess short of risking his safe couple position by actually exploring with her.
But that too is in my opinion, a fault of the mechanics of the game. The OG couples, now everybody knows when you come into the show, you OG couple up on day one, and you hopefully can ride that out. Maybe there's going to be some twists and turns. You explore here, I explore here, but you always come back to each other because those couples, Nicolandria being kind of the, dare I say it, blueprint.
But they didn't get together.
But they got together the last week.
But there was always a will they or won't they there. They had that challenge in the beginning of the season where, oh my God, that makeout was pretty good. And even the show recognized it because once they got eliminated, they manufactured a fake relationship for them to keep them in the show. And they now continue that fake relationship on social media to get spotlight.
They're going to come for us.
How dare you, Clues?
I'm just saying that
Nicolandria are
No, what I think is-
endgame.
What I think is interesting is that Nicolandria should be exactly an example. And I think this is actually, it was Ace's plan coming into the villa, was an example of how great a relationship and how compelling it can be on the show if it doesn't start the first week. If there's a bit of a will they, won't they, they're not together, but
They
ultimately they're
naturally
drawn
have
together.
chemistry. People are shipping them.
Right. And
I
that
agree.
can be a very effective storyline. So the idea that you need to like lock it down immediately and never stray in order to be a huge fan favorite is not true. It's just, I think, the most safe feeling option to
I think
people.
most of the couples that last are OG heavy, either all OGs or one OG. But you do have these examples, like Nicolandria, I think, is actually the example of, what you're saying, the opposite.
I guess I consider them to be an in quotes OG couple because they are both OGs.
They're both OGs.
And yes, they had to do some maneuvering or whatever, but the idea that they might be a couple was present from the very beginning when they were doing those challenges together and, having those moments of like, oh, is there some kind of a spark here? They made out in soul ties and we're like, wait a minute, what is going on here? And then obviously the producers see that they're like exploding on social media. So when the game mechanics dictate that they must be eliminated from the show, the producers say, oh, well, wait a minute though. What if we put her in a Jeep, have her come pick him up, and then they have a weird candlelight dinner in the middle of the forest?
And
Sounds
people
good.
loved
Let's do
it because this is storytelling. It's not a real game.
No, nor is the relationship real. That's what I'm saying. It's pro wrestling. And they've managed to take their pro wrestling identities into the real world.
Again, how dare you?
He's been rumored to be with a girlfriend that is like going out to dinner with.
Please, we can't litigate last season because we have to keep moving forward like a shark or we will die. Okay.
Let it go.
My
They're
apologies.
together. It's real love.
My
We're
apologies.
still on episode 14. Ariana arrives. She assembles
God.
the Islanders. She announces the top couples in no particular order. This leaves Soul and Caleb, Jen and Gabe, and Kenzie and Corbin as the bottom couples. They are vulnerable. The top-ranked boys then vote for one of the vulnerable girls to leave. The top-ranked girls vote for one of the bottom-ranked boys to leave. And this is where Sincere pulls his snake move and plants the idea that Soul is the only option because she's not in a serious couple, which, of course, like, thanks to who? Sincere. They also consider Kenzie because she is couple hopping. And I want to note that for later, but ultimately they settle on Soul. And they have Sincere deliver the speech dumping her, which I thought was a really nasty move on the boys' part.
Oh,
But did
the
they
thing
make
is,
that
like,
move or was that the
didn't
producers?
the producers make him do that?
That's a good point. I guess I don't know who does it.
I'm assuming it was the producers.
What's
God
interesting though
voice.
is that Trinity asked them, "Why did you have Sincere do it?"
Right.
Would she say that if production had assigned people?
Yeah.
But then the answer would just be because production made us.
This is pro wrestling though. They can cut it to look like whatever we want.
Yeah,
or whatever they want, I should say.
They never mentioned the producers.
I don't think it would even occur to her to bring up if that had been a production decision. I think is more my claim here.
Perhaps. I'm not sure about, but I always,
I don't trust
I guess,
sincere.
err on the side of like, this is all for show.
Melanie speaks for the girls who choose Gabrielle, and Melanie explains at great length, which I think was also probably a production decision and also really made people mad, how much she repeats her point here. But she's like, Gabrielle's had plenty of time to explore, but he's always looking for the next best thing. He will never be content with his couple. My other theory was that they were expecting the boys to choose Jen, and they thought it would be cleaner to send home because they knew that Casey still wanted to explore Soul, and that Jen was less.
I did too. And I mean,
Yeah.
the math of this also is like, in the bottom 3 were all of the new bombshells.
Yeah.
So it again behooves you to not be a bombshell, and it just kind of like reinforces that idea that if you come into this game as a bombshell, you're basically screwed. You will be fighting for your life instantaneously.
It's a really tough gig. I think Kata was a great example of someone who understood the assignment and came in and kind of asserted her presence in a way that was very effective. It gets harder as the game goes on.
And went for the weakest couple in Kenzie and Zach, and identified like, that target is soft, I can't acquire it.
Yeah.
This, I think, like as you get deeper in the game, like we were saying, it does get harder because these couples are like, well, how much? I already have like 5 days invested in this relationship.
Yeah.
Do I really want to gamble that on whoever comes through the door? And usually the answer is no.
But
And you
Kata
can
also
misread a
had an
situation.
advantage. She got to take the guys for an overnight.
That's also true. I think that the bombshell should all get dates. It's odd to me that
traditionally
they did not this
do.
season.
I don't know what's been going on.
Yeah. Well, we know that they did have like a tragic loss on set, and I don't know if that's why it feels like it was a little underproduced the first couple of weeks, but I do want to give them a little grace since it's been probably a really tough situation.
I definitely think it has colored the whole season.
Yeah.
It's like that's gonna affect every single person.
Yeah. So when Soul is picked, she reacts by thanking them for putting her out of her misery. She says everyone was closed off when she came, and she came too late to the game. This is when she calls it Couples Island. This brings us to episode 15, and we're still kind of in the middle of this elimination at the start of episode 15. The boys are furious about Gabrielle going home, and Melanie and Trinity keep trying to explain their decision. They love Gabe, but he was always going to keep exploring, and the guys are just not having it. They're talking shit under their breath about how stupid the girl's decision was. Zach is also like, look at Jen, she doesn't even give a fuck, as if it's her fault that the other girls voted off Gabrielle. Like she wasn't involved in that decision. I really feel like Zach, more and more, I just get the sense that he hates women
Zach
for
definitely
breathing.
hates women.
Like
I
everything
agree.
they do, he's just like, ugh.
I agree. He does not like them.
He doesn't like them.
That's what it's giving.
Like, why are you mad at Jen right now? She has nothing to do with this decision.
Yeah, he definitely tries to play like a control game, but vacillates too much to a victim game. It doesn't really work. Like he's trying to mix two play styles that don't generally work in the same person. But also this notion of like that there's ever a good choice when they put the Islanders in this position where it's like, okay, here's the bottom 3. Women have to vote off the guys have to vote off the women. Like it never is going to be a good decision.
No,
They're always
there's
gonna
no
be
actual
mad.
good reason. And people go in both directions. They're like, they're in a serious couple. We can't break them up. Or, oh, they got to meet their person. Like this person still hasn't had a chance.
That
They can justify it
mechanically,
either way.
That the way that the show does it, it is designed to make the remaining men and women hate each other.
Yes.
And it
100%.
works almost every time.
But that's why the women, that's the women's defense. They're like, why we're not mad at you for making a different decision. Why are you mad at us? There was no good option. Like you should be understanding of that. But what they did was they sent home a friend of the guys. Gabrielle is the first male bombshell, and
he
they're
was
all
supposed
bros.
to be an OG.
Right, because they had to rejigger the cast.
Yeah, so
when,
it says that they
Fasana
could be
left.
threatened also.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Gabrielle, during this whole Casa thing would have been magic to watch.
Yeah.
Yes.
I almost think he doesn't need Casa, though, because he just acts like that all the time.
Yeah, his life is Casa Amor.
His life is Casa Amor. As they say goodbye, Sol tells everyone to be more open so other bombshells don't feel as excluded. And this is why I feel weary of Sol sometimes, because it's really not their job to make the bombshells feel welcome, in my opinion. And she tells the camera she's too hot for everyone there. Fair reaction to being sent home, in my opinion.
I took her kind of admonishment of the closed offness of it, the couple's islandness of it. Yes, she's saying it to the players, but she's really saying it to production. You know, that's the vibe I got. Like, obviously, she can't really be mad at the players for not doing anything. It's like they're in the same goddamn game, and they know if they step too far outside their couple, that's not going to be good for their game.
Yeah, I don't know, because, I mean, I guess she, in this setting, can't really point the finger at production. But she's talked a lot since the show. And it seems like she's always talking about the other players, as you would put it. Like, she's talking about their behavior.
Beloved.
I think she's mostly seeming to talk about the women, which I find particularly interesting, because she comes in saying, I'm going to step on toes, as a bombshell does, and then is immediately hurt and wounded that they don't want to be her best friend. I think it takes a little while for a bombshell to integrate into that part of the island, right? It takes a little while, and she didn't make it to that point. Jen's part of the group now, you know? I don't think that there was such a
Jen
complete
is
lack
Kenzie's
of openness.
best friend.
Kenzie immediately was like, another blonde.
Yep.
Thank God.
Yeah. Can
She
you
literally
do display
says,
at
You
Sting?
remind me of home.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Soul on After Sun? What did you think
No.
of that?
I haven't watched
We
any
don't
After
watch
Sun.
After Sun. We take that
I
day
used
off.
to not, but they say too much now that affects the
my
conversation. But one thing that really stood out to me is that when she's asked which couple she doesn't think will make it, she says Trinity and Bryce. And she says that Bryce, quote, probably thinks Kata is prettier than Trinity because he kept pulling Kata when he was in a couple with Trinity.
She did say he pulled Kata more than we were shown. I remember seeing that.
I believe that, but she said that everyone should be more open. So why is she then saying that, like, if you explore, that means you don't think that your partner is pretty enough and it's a death knell for your relationship? Like, I
think she means like actually jump ship. I don't know.
Wait, what'd you say? It seems like acting to you?
It seems conflicting.
Oh,
Like, I think
conflicted. I
that
thought you
there
said
is
acting.
a strong, everyone should explore, everyone should be open. But then if someone is open, it's like, oh, well, I guess he doesn't think Trinity is that pretty. Which
think it
carries an
depends on
extra
the-
valence because Trinity is a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman compared to Kata. And so the idea that, like, it's inconceivable that Bryce would think she was as pretty as Kata just because he's also interested in Kata felt kind of loaded.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. This drove a lot of discourse on Threads. So
It was the
this is why I
primary
watch
reason.
After Sun now.
Yeah, it's
I
like
love
keeping
Threads.
threads in business. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's like on a couple by couple basis too. It's like, who do you perceive as being in the right if they're exploring, or not in the right if they aren't, or, you know, whatever. I do think that comes down to a couple by couple basis, and who's getting victimized in those couples, and where that person kind of ranks in the hierarchy of the whatever the friend group they're in.
I thought Soul got such a strong victimization edit that I thought they were going to give her a second chance, like date. Like I still was hopeful for a while that she was coming back, but
Yeah, that's the vibe I got too, but it doesn't seem like she's returning.
no.
On that note, let's take a quick break. When we get back, we will pick up after the goodbye to Sol and Gabrielle. And we're back. So after Sol and Gabrielle leave, the boys immediately start flipping out at the girls. Zach tells them they might not get breakfast tomorrow, which is...
That's that control game. That's what
Yes.
we're talking about. And
It's-
it doesn't work for him.
Yeah, Kate is just like, fine, don't cook me breakfast. I'll starve. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
To threaten breakfast is so for TWR. Like,
I have never seen a guy do that. I haven't been watching for years, so I'm not saying it's the first time it's happened, but it's certainly not a regular occurrence.
Yeah. It's
breakfast
like
has evolved and become a much bigger like tradition,
It's
and at this
sacred.
point, it is sacred. You have to cook breakfast for someone. Like,
I think of it as a ritualized offering in acknowledgement of the beauty labor that the women do every
Yes.
day.
I agree.
The women, I guess, will just hang out in their pimple patches and their sweats all day then if they don't cook breakfast.
I agree.
Trinity's like, if you have a problem, let's just talk about it. Like, I'll have it out with you. I don't care. But the other girls drag her over to the couches to chat together, and the boys just sit there and like keep talking their shit. Sincere is like, the girls are mad because they got called on their bullshit. Again, as you said, there's no good choice here.
So
Yeah,
Sincere,
it's all bullshit.
I feel
Everybody's
like
doing
all
bullshit.
Sincere, I feel like, is trying to muddy the waters. He's like, everyone's a little devil, just like me.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is like in my opinion, all of the players who come on the show know this is the biggest reality dating format in the world. They are aware, they are on camera, they are playing
Except
a character.
Sincere. I
Even
like the
Sincere.
idea that Sincere doesn't know everything's being filmed.
He doesn't know he's on a TV show.
In my
he just
mind,
thinks he got a free
doesn't-
trip to Fiji.
He doesn't know about the cameras.
Yeah. They all know that they're on TV and that this can be life-changing if they do the right things, right things being like engaging with some kind of an audience, being a character that's likable, et cetera, et cetera. That's the most mind-blowing thing to me about his game, is that he thinks the things he's doing are making people in America like him. And I think when we get the kind of toward the end of the season where we start to get America's vote weighing a little more heavily, like who's your least favorite, who's your most favorite, when they do that type of shit, I think Sincere is going to be in for a pretty eye-opening experience.
Yeah, I would agree with that, except it's possible that the other boys will tank their own reputations even harder in the
Right?
meantime because the summer
Yes,
is long.
That's true. That is true.
Right? I thought
Like, maybe
Casey
he's
was
like-
the best male player, and that has been
Yeah.
a disaster.
Like, could Sincere have just been kind of intentionally getting his villain arc on the show out of the way early? And then spend the rest of the season having more of a redemption arc?
I have considered if it's 10-dimensional chess, and
That's been
he's
one of
gotten
my
the
main
most screen
theories.
time of anyone.
But I don't think he is. I don't think he's playing 10-dimensional chess. I think he's playing one-dimensional chess. Does that exist?
I actually don't think it's that complicated for a guy to be like, I'm not going to be able to just coast without exploring all season and be the most beloved couple. There's got to be some shit that goes down in our relationship. So I should just go for it now
Right.
so that it's fainter in everyone's mind at the end. I think that's one of a fairly straightforward strategy.
Sincere is the epitome of the boomerang strategy.
Listen, Sincere is a reader. I think we can all agree on that. He has never heard someone say that word out loud before.
He doesn't have a lot of conversations choosing the words, but he reads them.
He's reading them, and I love that for him.
I love it.
Sure.
So Sincere is like, the girls got called on their bullshit. Zach is going on and on about how they could have sent Kenzie home if they used the logic the girls used, which is true. And that would have been a choice as well. That would be fine.
You stick with the choices. The whole like telling Kenzie, "Oh yeah, we thought about sending you home." I'm like, what are you doing? Why? This is an unforced error. You
Well,
can
that's
just
the
put
thing.
it all on Soul.
Yeah. And they actually did consider Kenzie for that reason. We saw it. They ended up going another direction, but it's clear that they understand the logic, or they would not have had that discussion at all about Kenzie. And then when it comes up again in this conversation, Bryce says, well, the girls are being slut-shamey for suggesting that Gabrielle is a sexual person, so he couldn't love someone. Okay. But meanwhile, you guys are slut-shaming the shit out of Kenzie. Because they're getting more and more into like, well, she is just hopping from one guy to another. Like, she doesn't care. She's a
Everything
one
they
guy
say the
special.
whole season is slut shamey. When they're like, "Oh, that's classy," about someone's striptease, like versus the other ones, and like, yeah, there's a lot of
They're
slut shaming
looking just
going
for
on.
some way to justify whatever decision they've had to make,
Yeah.
either as a singular player or as a collective group. They're looking for some like on paper excuse for what they've done, because it will always
And what
be
they
bad.
want to do.
Yes, that too, and setting up their future moves or whatever. And it's like in these vote outs, there's never going to be a true good excuse. There'll never be a good reason to get rid of anybody.
No.
Because everybody's doing the same shit in there. You're making out with people. You're trying to stay on the show. It's like, I just think that they're always kind of trying to look for that, like, well, this is our justifiable reason for voting this person off, this completely arbitrary thing.
Right. It's all just like smoke and mirrors for the show.
Yeah.
But this does come up very soon afterwards because Corbin is like taking all this in. He's like, oh, they think that Kenzie is slutty. And he goes to Kenzie and is like, just so you know, the guys almost voted you out because they thought that you were lustful like Gabe. And she's horrified. She's like, I'm not lustful.
Said on Love Island.
What's
It's
interesting is, do you think she would object to being called horny? Because
She called herself horny
Yeah.
in some ITM.
Multiple
I'm like,
times.
what? I want them
Yeah.
to define what they think lustful is.
Well, I think it's interesting because it's such coded language,
Yeah.
right? Like it's purity culture
Christian.
language.
Yes, it's Christian.
Bible language.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm having a fun, horny girl summer. But if someone calls you lustful, now that's a deadly sin.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
now
you're
you're chewed
saying
up gum.
that I'm not thinking about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, in my
Yeah.
fanny
I heard
flutters.
French fries was
My
Jesus'
fanny
favorite
flutters
meal.
are blessed.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of these moments where you see how like totally normal behavior can be sort of, you can take a label like lustful and just selectively apply it to certain people who are displaying that behavior. And then they are undeserving of love. They're deserving of punishment.
Yeah. And like the
Exactly.
racial element, as you were saying, like factors in there too. Like there's certain like stereotypes, and it's all very
And we
messy
know that
and
Gabrielle
weird.
that's been discussed that like he was given a very biased edit, that he was given this like sexy Latin lover edit. And the people within the villa did not have that perception of him in the same way, except that he
Yeah.
is like loudly hooking up with Jen at night when they're trying to sleep. And that seemed to
Right,
get on
but then we get Kenzie literally doing the French fries, hooking up so loudly that they give it a
Silently.
name.
right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The
No,
I think what you're saying, Claire, is 100% correct about using the lustful kind of like tag on whatever the behavior is to basically be a for the wrong reasons accusation in this game. It's very similar to how they do for the wrong reasons in The Bachelor. This now is like, oh, you're here, and yes, you're doing the same thing we all are doing, but it's your motivation. You're not hooking up with these people for the right reasons. You're doing it for the wrong
To
reasons.
see if they're
it's
your
lust.
soulmate.
That's right.
Right.
The right reason is that you feel a deep connection with them,
Correct.
that you're expressing through going around to everyone in the villa and being like, can I get a kiss?
That's right.
Yes. Which is why
That's-
now Corbin is looking at Kenzie sideways as like, oh no, I think she's lustful. And it's like, Corbin, what
Yeah.
have you been up to? What have you been doing?
but
Let's run
that's-
the tape back.
But it's like you're saying, it's like
Yeah.
the lustfulness is actually meaningless. It's just
Yeah.
that now you have a thing that you can use to distance yourself from somebody if you want to explore, or that you can accuse somebody of if you need to kick them off or put them in a time out for 5 minutes or whatever the case may be. They have kind of engineered on this season this idea that there are two different types of sexual interaction. One that is justified, one that is completely against the very idea of this show if it's simply for lustful reasons. It's to me,
Yeah.
it's one of the craziest things I've seen. I've
Yeah.
only been watching the show for 3 seasons, but it's like, this makes no sense to me. Because like
Yeah.
immediately after she's saying this, she's getting covered in neon pink goo and like almost half naked as a dude is like grinding on top of her.
right. And so is everyone else. But
Exactly.
I do think it's such an American, like Protestant,
Yes.
Christian way of viewing sexuality, which is like we're like this fascination with it and this desire for it, and therefore this need to like separate it out into the kind of like disgusting, dirty, but
Virgin and
also
whore.
exactly.
It also makes me wonder, and I wondered this when we went through their Instagrams pre-season, of like, there were a lot of Christian players, or at least people with Christian shit in their bios. And I was like, how's that going to play out? And now I'm like, oh, maybe they're just cutting all those scenes, and this is kind of like what's left. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that it can like really affect, like it can lead to this sort of mindset, which is like, it's good to be like a beautiful object for men, in pursuit of getting married and having 10 kids and living on a farm, which is what many of the women claim to want, right? But if I'm being labeled lustful, now I'm doing a sin. And so that looks different in the eyes of the Lord.
Yes.
And there's a lot of cognitive dissonance that they're trying to resolve because it's this male-dominated, male-desire-driven culture. They want to be able to like do sexy, fun things with hot women, but they also want to be able to like punish women for being sexual to control them. Or people like Gabrielle, of course. So the girls finally go back over to the guys, and Trinity calls them out on making Sincere send Soul home at this point, and they do not respond. So who knows? Maybe they had a whole conversation that was cut that was like, production made us do it. They deflect back to how they all decided based on who was in a couple as a group. And the women say that they felt they forced Caleb on Kenzie, which they definitely did. They're all like, here's your option. It's Kenzie. Do you think she's pretty?
Yeah.
And now they see she was set on Corbin, so he should get another chance. And he was lustful. Gabrielle was lustful. So.
Yes.
And this is when Casey tells the camera, like, we're all lustful in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
That is accurate. Zach then is like, by your logic then, and you want him to explore, then you should all explore him tomorrow.
This was, again, him not
Okay.
liking women. Just be like, I bet you won't go hit on him then. Like, you owe this man, like, sex for saving him.
Right. The men do get very irritable about the women exploring. And Zach, for example, just had sex with Kata, and then immediately as they made the bed was like, I would love to explore with the bombshell. And he's like, obviously the women won't be exploring. That would be absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have your
I
cake
just think
and eat it too.
Zach is he the worst player this season? He's in contention for it for sure.
Yeah.
His playstyle doesn't work at all. I am curious to see if Kata is going to jump ship. It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it.
But,
Sadly.
it doesn't look like any of them are, honestly, in my opinion, except for maybe Kenzie and Corbin. That seems to be a kind of broken thing. But I just think Zach is like, he's a bad player. And I know we're living in the Nepo baby era or Nepo sibling era, and fine, that's how he got on the show and everything. But do we need to take a look at this as a society? Do we need all this Nepo?
And Charlie wasn't even a strong player in my, like, he didn't really make a big splash on the show. So why would we think that his brother is going to carry on a proud legacy? I think like Kata is not really clocking a lot of what Zach is doing to misstep, because when he does display something directly to her, it's usually jealousy, which she perceives as him valuing her, and she loves
a
that,
good thing. Yes.
which is going to make it hard for her to leave.
I know. And so I get the impression whenever she's talking to somebody else, eventually she pulls Caleb for a chat. Now she's going to have this bombshell Che that she's dealing with. It is all, I think, in service of making him jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Casey tells the guys after all this settles down that he would have been mad to not be top 4 because he and Zach have been in their couples for the longest. And this turns out to have huge ripple effects because Bryce is there and he's like, what? Trinity and I have been together since day 1. And Casey says, you almost explored some shit though.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's also wild given what Casey does after this moment. Being like, oh, Aniya and I are such a strong couple. Cut to him telling the Casa Amor ladies, like, oh, Aniya and I don't have a single thing in common.
Right. It's clearly true. He's like, I hope I'm coming off as being in one of the strongest couples here. Like, I've been putting in the work. I've been sticking with her this entire time.
He had the blueprint speech.
Oh, the blueprint.
I wanted to read that really generously at the time, but there was always a very strong possibility that it was going to be a setup for what we're now seeing play out, which is that he's full of shit.
Yeah.
But Bryce is the one who really gets in his head after this because he's like, do people not perceive me and Trinity as a strong couple? Why? We've been together exploring a little bit, but we keep finding our way back to each other. We have this really strong friendship and like bond that we've built. And so he talks to Zach and the camera about like how he thinks they're a stronger couple than Casey and Aniya. He's like, FYI, America, We're actually a really strong couple. Then we have the completely unhinged Maybelline sponsored Prince and Princess Challenge. This was one of the episodes that I watched with my dad.
Oh, Jesus.
We were cruising until the challenge.
Oh, my God.
This was brutal.
Yeah. Sorry, Dad.
So
my
the men
God.
are princes. They're dressed in slutty little prince outfits. The women are princesses. They're dressed in slutty little princess outfits. The men have to complete a series of challenges involving goo, of course.
I liked that this
Like-
goo had glitter in it, though. I want to see more
Princess
of that.
goo. All the goo should have glitter.
Yes.
Every challenge now just has the same thing where they dump goo on someone who is the answer to a prompt.
Clues has done a dissertation on the goo.
Oh,
at
boy.
this
Well,
point. Don't open
can
that
discuss
door.
the goo.
Give me the
Don't
Cliff
open
Notes.
that door.
Okay. Cliff notes are, what is the goo? The goo is both a representation of sexual fluid, but also it is a representation of a kind of carefree, messy, childlike play. It is combining both sexuality and childhood, in my opinion, into one weird thing. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Why do you think they use goo in every challenge now? And what do you think it represents?
No, I completely agree with that. I think Emma, in a less academic way, and I have called it like sexy Nickelodeon or like
Yes.
pornified
Yeah, the
Legends of the
slime.
Hidden Temple. Like
Yep.
it is that attempt to like bring together the childlike and the explicitly sexual in a really unsettling way. I think partly just because it's shocking and that makes us pay attention. Plus, like this specific kind of challenge brings together all those implications, along with like a very direct way of stirring up drama and getting
Yeah.
plot moving in the house, which it's very effective at doing. There are a lot of
They
things
also-
the challenges aren't bringing this season, like dates or rewards.
I know.
but bringing a lot of
Or
Or
slime.
celeb
meaningful
hosts.
implication on the game itself. I also think with the goo, there's this secondary part of it that's almost like when they have them sitting around and the goo is now dried and crusty all over their bodies and they're delivering their ITMs or having their conversations. It's like the post-sexual act is now visually present in this. It's a very strange thing.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, it doesn't exist in either show. I love that you brought
No,
up Nickelodeon.
Big Brother definitely put shit on him.
They
Throw
put
stuff.
goo?
Yeah, like hang on
Oh.
this thing while we spray you with all sorts of shit.
Goo.
There's something about the way though that the women are so made up and they're in these sexy little outfits and then they do have the dry goo on them that it does feel like it's a sort of like also derived from porn, like
You guys are
post-coital
so
like humiliation
lustful.
ritual.
Y'all are
Yeah.
so lustful.
It's like look at how he or she has been kind of like abused and
Yes,
like left
100%.
in a sad state. Like it's really yeah. I'm sorry.
And you brought up the Nickelodeon of it. I was telling Pace Case this. There was a show when I was a child. I mean, I am very young, 29 years old. But when I was a kid, there was a show called You Can't Do That on Television. I don't know if you're familiar with the show at all on Nickelodeon.
Vaguely.
It was like a teen or child age sketch comedy show. And they had a thing that they would do in every episode. If you said, I don't know, they would dump a bucket of green neon slime on your head. And that happened multiple times per episode. And this is just so reminiscent of that to me. But in
Yeah.
that context, there was no sexuality. It was like,
Right.
oh, I can't believe I got slime dumped on me and everybody laughs at you. Here, it's like combined with twerking and asses and crotches. And, it is very strange. And I'm curious
Yeah.
what it is doing psychologically to a generation of teens and children watching this show.
Nothing good. My children will never be allowed to watch this show. I'm going to make that happen.
Okay.
I'm sure my dad was thinking the same thing. He's like, how can I make sure my daughter is not allowed to watch this show? Too late. So, sorry, to get back to the challenge, the slimed guy who was the answer to the prompt picked someone to kiss the guy who was the prince that round. The girls put on Maybelline lip gloss, of course, which you can barely see, but if this works for them, great. And they can also push a thing to cover him with green powder and turn him into a frog. Then the prince has to lick every girl's feet and then throw their princess down and go to town on her. And a few kind of interesting moments happen during this very long challenge. Bryce gets slimed for stealing another prince's fair maiden, I think was the prompt, because he pulled Kata. He picks Trinity to kiss Zach.
What
and
is
when
that?
she does the
What
poison to
is
turn him into a
that?
frog instead, they all, including Bryce, are like, you have to kiss him. And
I
then
did
he
not
tells
like that.
Zach, I had to offer my fair maiden, now we're square.
Oh, for
I did
hitting
not
on
like that
Kata.
at all.
Horrible. Horrible in so many ways. Treating them as objects,
As currency.
forcing them to make out when she doesn't. She just literally chose the option not to, which normally you don't even have that option.
Right. Like removing her agency so that he can use her as like an offering, a sexual offering to his friend, his male friend.
Very weird.
A bad play, you could call it.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't ship them. I know that's the only shipped couple at this point, but
There aren't a lot of options. I have this weird thing where Bryce like really horrifies me like every episode or two, but then
Yeah.
somehow I just like I forget and I start shipping them again. I don't know. I just don't get a bad
Yeah.
vibe from him, I guess. And whenever he does something like this, it's like so shocking.
I have a question.
And then I forget.
What do you think about the friendship of him and Zach?
I hate it.
Yeah, me too. I feel
Yeah.
like they're trying to like force it, and it's also like there's like homophobic joke kind of things
It
mixed
does
in
the
there.
way that they have played up any sexual or physical elements of their friendship in the edit really seems like a way of feeding this sort of homophobic
Yeah.
speculation. Like if they're actually just into each other and they're queer, then that's great. But it really
Yeah.
feels more like the edit is feeding into some sort of problematic,
Make fun of them. Yeah,
speculation.
I agree.
No, there's a lot of reasons not to like Bryce, but I think that there are enough things that I like about his relationship with Trinity that I end up forgetting them. And that's on me.
I mean,
I
there's
have to work
not
on myself.
an A couple to like root for, so
That's
yeah,
a big
I mean
part of it.
that's to me that's kind of the biggest takeaway from the season so far is I'm rooting for no one. I want all the
Yeah.
couples to break up. I don't really like any of the play styles, primarily that the guys are putting out. But there's just like I don't know. I'm thinking of like past seasons with like again, I've only seen two others, but those are some big ass seasons when you had like Leia Kateb, you had Huda, you had Kaler, you have like some, I mean, Jesus, Alandria. You have some like heavy hitter players. And I just feel like nobody's popping out of the season in that capacity for me.
what about Melanie?
Yeah, I guess she's like at the top of the chart. Her and Kenzie probably
Trinity?
of like, yeah, they're like fine.
Trinity's a
they're fine
star.
in this season, but none of them are exploding out for me in the same way those players that I just mentioned are.
I think that Trinity, to me, has the most potential to be like at that level by the end of the season
She's in
because
the only
I think
couple at this point.
she's in a couple that, while I have feelings about Bryce that are complex, is the only one that seems at all like it involves genuine feelings or interest on either side. And she, to me, has like the charisma.
Yes.
Like I
Yeah,
think
for
about
sure.
her when she's
She
not
was
on
my
screen.
MVP
I
this
really enjoy her.
week. I
Yeah.
love all her phrases. Rise and pussy, French fries. Oh, I gave fellatio in the back of my mom's car. Why?
That was
Daylight
incredible.
savings time. Like, you can't
I'll
write
never
that
forget
shit.
daylight savings time.
That makes us all do crazy things.
Also during this challenge, Casey again gets slimed for some prompt that raises Aniya's suspicion. Some version of like, which prince is playing it safe or whatever. It's always the same thing. And it again raises her suspicions that he's not really that into her. And she's really starting to wonder if the boys are hearing stuff from him because they keep sliming him for this kind of prompt. Also, Caleb, who is single, picks Kata for his princess kiss. We have never seen Caleb make a play for Kata before on screen, so this is interesting. And this is where the Caleb and Kata option starts brewing.
I like this when Caleb was kind of like, well, fuck it, I need to like step out. They basically
Yeah.
like have eliminated my options. I need to see what I can do here and get a little more, what does he call himself? I need to be a little more flirty or something, I think he says. However, Caleb is, for me, of the guys, the most boring player.
Yeah. 100%.
I just don't care to ever see him do anything.
Honestly, I
Right.
forgot about this Caleb Kata
Even
thing.
when he has a plot, I sometimes almost remember the plot that he's involved in, but not him. It's like there's a man-shaped
Yeah.
space operating
Agreed.
to create a love triangle with Zach and Kata. But I'm like, who?
Yeah.
What does he look like?
There's just nothing there other than like
Yeah.
his accent, and he's in quotes a cowboy, whatever that means in this capacity.
He's been relatively respectful to the ladies, which I like, but
Sure.
like
Yeah, he's
nothing
rising
interesting going
through
on.
lack of errors.
That's
And
that's all
he's
he's
just
got going for him.
floating around this thing, and now he's gonna have somebody after this Casa. Like he'll be in a couple. This guy's gonna be on the show for another week.
Even though the Casa girls are kind of like tossing him around, they're like, "Do you want him?"
You
Like, hot
know
potato.
it's bad when not even the Casa girls are gonna go for.
They're like, "I
They're
think
like
I could," and they should
immediately
be
jumping
trying.
ship.
He is the
Yep.
lowest hanging fruit. He's such an
is
easy way to
the
get into
target.
the
He should
house.
100% be the target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Caleb pulls Kata for a chat after this challenge, just as Mr. Zach, I would still explore a bombshell even though we just had sex, is laying into Kata for enjoying the kiss with Caleb during the challenge too much. And like she moved her legs in a way that he didn't like. And
That's right.
how dare she?
And he scooped Zach on the taking the shirt off. Very strange evaluations.
That was a very weird conversation. But in this moment, she's talking to Caleb. She tells him she's always wanted to do something in business and also help people or animals, which is so admirable. She asks if Caleb told Zach that he would pull her, and he says, yeah, and Zach seemed chill about it. And she's like, he's jealous. And she loves that he's jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Casey tells Caleb that he and Aniya are good, but he owes it to himself to explore more, full force. Next time, he'll be more aggressive. And he will. Accurate. Meanwhile, Aniya and Trinity are discussing how much they like Casey and Bryce. Trinity then tells Aniya that Casey was the only guy who wanted to keep Soul in the house. And Aniya is pissed. She's like, once again, I'm like hearing something not directly from Casey that suggests that he's more interested in leaving the couple than I thought. She's like, Casey's out here trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, making me feel stupid. People were really mad on threads that she called Soul a hoe, but I feel like this is just a phrase that means like, he's like a white knighting in some way. Like he's trying to be the guy who rescues a woman that he's sexually interested in instead of investing in our relationship.
There is a
Yeah,
wild, there's someone mad about every single thing that happens in the whole show.
No, that's so true. And I don't want to reference threads too much, but it's interesting to me to see some of the things that a lot of people seem to get activated by.
No,
it's not always something
I
that I
find
noticed.
myself being like, wow, I really don't agree with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I saw a huge amount of posts about the women yelling like fuck you at Casa Amor, like Kata and Kenzie, and I was like, who cares? Like they're making TV. They could yell fuck you at Casa
Yeah.
Amor. I don't
like
give a
what
fuck.
show do you want? What reality TV show do you want to be watching? You can't yell fuck
I know.
you.
You can't yell fuck you at Casa.
I mean,
It's-
fuck you was
it's an
also a
interesting
plot point in
thing.
Summer House, but it was different.
I think it's like there's a bigger kind of conversation about reality TV generally and where we are as an audience. I still think most of the audience, especially for Love Island, thinks it's real.
Yeah.
And therefore their animosity toward whatever their reaction is toward something a player does in the game is justified, and it is a moralistic judgment being made about that person. But if you look at like pro wrestling, which reality TV, in my opinion, is like a 1-to-1 for, we are in the era of pro wrestling where the audience didn't know it was fake yet. We are getting to that point where we're about to. And then maybe that'll usher in an attitude era of reality TV where you can have way crazier shit happening. But I think still most of the audience, at least what it seems like online, most of the audience for Love Island doesn't understand that this is a product made for your entertainment with actors.
Yeah.
I don't think they get it.
I think we're at a very uncomfortable inflection point where people both don't trust that any connection is real. And so they're quick to be like, well, of course he's doing that. He just wants to win.
Yeah.
Whenever a couple seems like it's getting deeply invested. But at the same time, they want to hold people accountable to standards of like how to treat people's feelings if you are all like authentically engaging in dating and romance. And that means that you can't really enjoy any part of it. You're always like moralistically mad at people for hurting each other's feelings, but you're also like, I can't even enjoy the gooey part because that's fake. You know, I'm finding like every part of it is at a very uncomfortable tipping point right now.
Totally. I 100% agree. And I think that, you know, the nature of reality television and social media being effectively the same thing at this point, or at least, you know, one hand washing the other at this point, it necessarily means when a person's going into reality television, the first thing on their mind is, how famous will I become from this? Will this be my new career? Influencing, podcasting, being in reality TV, which now there's so many what we call third wave reality TV shows where if you pop off in your rookie season on any given reality show, you're going to wind up on Traders. You're going to wind up on, you know, anything else and just keep furthering the career. Rob Roush is a great example of that, obviously from Love Island. And I just think that there's like, we are at that point where we all have to understand as an audience, this is not real. It can be based on these actual people. And yes, sometimes real relationships come out of it. But that's almost a function of being in this traumatic situation with somebody and trauma bonding with them. And so that person becomes the only person who can really ever truly understand the experience that either of you had on this show. But that none of it is technically like real. I think we have to drop that and not be like so enraged that people, oh my God, they said, fuck you. These people should die. Like it's insane.
Yeah, I'm not innocent of sometimes getting enraged, but I'm like, if you yell "fuck you" at each other, I truly don't care. It's just part of the entertainment.
The death
baby.
threats have only escalated, and like people are so mean whenever like the cast is dropped, and I don't know. It makes me question myself sometimes because like. I saw a bunch of people being like, get Melanie off my screen, after she did give me 10. And I was like, she's given us the viral moment so far. What are you talking? I'm voting to save her every time.
I know. I'm like, what? I didn't even want Kenzie to go, even though she's like irritating the crap out of me. I'm like, the irritation is part of the product.
You wouldn't have gotten what we get later. Yeah. Much later, I guess, on our 3-hour podcast.
We need to invest in our breakout characters. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, episodes 17 through 19. And we're back. So episode 17 kicks off with Aniya confronting Casey about what she learned about the soul vote. And she asks if he really thinks she should have stayed just to explore with Casey. And Casey is like, yes, and I would have pulled her for chats if she stayed. Full credit to Casey here for being honest about that. But then he tells her she has nothing to worry about, which obviously she does if he's still really open to exploring other women. She gets very fed up and mad and is like, you should just do whatever you want then. So the Casey Aniya cycle continues. Meanwhile, Zach tells Kata he's upset about the Maybelline challenge. And this is where he explains that he's upset because Caleb went first and he did what Zach was going to do, which is he took off his shirt and kissed her. And so it lost the specialness of them doing it together.
Now, you can only take off your shirt and kiss someone once in a Maybelline-themed fantasy challenge.
It can only be the first time once, Lizzy. I think he wanted to take her, man takes off his shirt and kisses her virginity.
Yes.
But that is like, this is kind of what I'm talking about. The absurdity of what he's saying is he clearly doesn't believe that. He's making he thinks it's funny or like bombastic or whatever. He's making like a pro wrestling promo basically here. He's cutting a thing to be like, I'm pissed at this guy because he took his shirt off first and made out with my girlfriend or whatever. Like, this is 100% not real. He's manufacturing this.
I don't think it's real. I think on the one hand, I think you may be right. That's a very solid argument. My other theory is just that it's just a way of controlling her and making her feel bad about whatever she does by
Yes.
finding some complex reason that it was wrong, even though it's
Yeah.
exactly what they're all supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Of course.
And those are also compatible with each other. So
Yeah.
maybe it's both.
But like when they sit you down in those ITMs and you're covered in crusty, dried goo, and the producers are like, okay, you know, we need something here. How did that make you feel when he did that? And then it's like, clearly you're being cued to be mad at this person. So it's like, all right, let me fucking do that for you. I can't believe he did that. This is literal acting.
Yeah, it is. But it is consistent with it. Like Zach does this kind of move more than almost anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that it is also specific to, as you said, that's like the game he's playing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good strategy by any
No.
means. I'm not saying these are good plays.
No,
but
no,
like
I
you
know.
can, as you're watching these shows, like I mean, I don't know how many hours Lizzy and I have put into watching like
Yeah.
Bachelors and all of it. You know, you start to kind of like
I've
see
seen
through
every
it, almost
US,
Matrix
UK,
like.
Australian Love
Yeah.
Island episode.
Yeah,
No, it's true.
But
I'm
you
still
can-
like really struggling to get my grasp on Love Island because it's so much input
yeah.
every week that I get kind of lost in the sauce. And I'm hoping that after covering it for many years, it will become more transparent to
like,
me.
When I'm watching reality TV now, especially dating formats, like I feel like I'm watching another show, which is the stuff we're not seeing in the edit. You can feel it around an ITM. You can feel it
Yeah.
around certain like manufactured events where it's like, oh, the producers are just off camera. Love Island, not as much because they're in a control room, but certainly in the ITMs and stuff, you can almost hear the questions that lead to the answer that you're getting on screen. Again, I'm not saying Zach's a good player, but I do cut all of these players a little bit of slack because they're put into this crazy situation. And these are not, to our knowledge anyway, trained actors. They come in and they're delivering an improvisational performance that is prompted by these producers. And I think he's just like, he's not getting the prompts correctly, you know? He's like, okay, they want me to be mad. And then he issues this weird thing that's like, he took off his shirt before I could.
Kata says she's open to continuing to chat with Caleb. And Zach says, well, then I'll pull Melanie for a chat. How would you like that?
Terrible player.
So insane.
Well, and then
Oh
later
my
he has to
God.
do damage control. Like he clearly realizes that like that came off as me trying to like punish her by one-upping
Yes.
her. So I have to go back and be like, I'm not going to do tit for tat with you if you want to explore.
Yeah.
But would you be jealous if I pulled Melanie?
Yeah, but just think about it. I just want you to
just
sit
think
with it
about
for
it.
a little
Theoretical
while.
jealousy.
make
But
you
that's
feel?
that's part of his weird control game that once
Yeah.
again just does not work. But somehow Kata is sticking around.
Yeah. I think I don't see any saving her at this point.
No.
I was also thrown by this because he makes it seem like there's something specifically about Mela that she would be jealous of, but I don't think we've seen much of that. So I was like, what are we missing here?
Probably a lot.
Because they're friends?
Yeah,
I mean-
definitely a lot.
I mean, those
but what
two
is it?
kissed in the last episode. Mela and Kata.
Yeah, well, Mela likes to go around and kiss other women during the challenges.
One of the reasons why she's one of our best. Should never go home.
So they don't really resolve things. Chill enters their dynamic at this point. After this, Zach doesn't want to hug Kata. He kind of brushes her off. And then he's like, I just want to go talk to Bryce. And he scoops Bryce up and carries him away. And he tells Bryce that he's not annoyed that she wants to explore, but why Caleb? Meanwhile, Kata's in the beauty room telling Melanie that Caleb isn't her physical type, but like basically she's just open because it's Love Island. So she's going to let herself be pulled for chats. The next morning, Zach doesn't make Kata breakfast. And then he tries to play it like, oh, I didn't make it fast enough, but it kind of seems like he just wasn't making it.
No, disgusting. This is a lie. He was trying to punish her.
He was
Yeah.
trying to punish her. And then he's
The
like,
control
oh,
game.
do you want a pancake? I can make you a pancake. And she says she doesn't want one and she just won't eat. And he's like, you can make yourself breakfast.
Insane play.
It's very
Wild.
strange. It is very strange, especially given what we talked about at the top of this episode, that the breakfast is this ceremonial offering. It is part of the game now. I mean, obviously they didn't write it into the game. It's not a formal mechanic, But at this point, you must make the breakfast if you are the man, period.
You must. Like, how does he think that any control he gets over her by punishing her is going to counterbalance how bad this is going to look that he's doing this?
It makes me
It's
think
absurd.
it's like part of our earlier conversation about like trying to justify exploring later by being like, look how I'm being mistreated by Kana.
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
think
probably
that
part of
there
it.
is, we talk a lot about experimental breakfast plays. I think there's always a good one to be made, which is make a little extra just in case something like this happens. And then you show up. Oh, here, I have some pancakes for you. I didn't know if he was going to make you breakfast. I know last night he was talking about how he wasn't going to do it and you can make your own. I don't think you should have to make your own breakfast. Here you go.
Yeah, that would have been a great moment for Caleb to swoop in with a plate of eggs and sausage, but
Totally.
nowhere to be found. This is why Caleb needs some tutoring before he can really make waves.
I mean, he's so young.
Yeah, he's
And he was
really
trained
young.
by Jimmy from Love is Blind. Not good.
He's
Caleb
Yeah.
was?
yeah.
Oh my God. No, wait,
not
which
who
Jimmy?
you want.
Jimbo.
Jimmy Presnell, I assume.
Yeah.
Because they're from the
Not
same
Jimmy
place.
Sotos.
Oh, no. I bet it
No.
would be better if he was trained by Jimmy Sotos. It would be more bombastic. No, Jimmy, Jimbo posted a reel of the two of them and said, like, when your friend goes on Love Island, gotta post a bunch of videos. Even though Caleb is
God.
21 and Jimmy is 31. Interesting.
Yeah, how long have they been friends? Maybe they're family friends. I'm sure it's normal. Kenzie sits Corbin down
Yep.
for some feedback. She tells Corbin that she likes when he pulls her for chats, kisses her first, makes eye contact with her during games. And Corbin takes this all in looking extremely irritated. And finally he's like, anything else that I'm doing wrong? And she clearly did not expect this response. She's like, you're not doing anything wrong. I'm just telling you like how I'm feeling. What do we think is going on here? Like, do you think that he really was bothered by this specific conversation, or was he already going off of her?
He's looking for a way out. In these games, if you are, especially in a group dating format, if you're going to pivot to somebody else, you have to have a justifiable out for the relationship you're in. He is trying to manufacture that here. Clearly, she's not satisfied with whatever I'm doing, or she wouldn't have said all this shit. Meanwhile, she was just like, no, I was telling you things that I like about you. I
so
don't-
that you would do
he's,
them.
he's like trying to
Yeah.
pull a justifiable exit from the relationship out of thin air, basically here. Doesn't work, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Well, later he invokes like what the guys said about her jumping from guy to guy too much. Like he's
Yeah.
clearly got a few different, like every time they talk, he's got another angle on this. And like looking back, he didn't really have another good option because Melanie was so obviously still hung up on Sincere. He was not going to get her to choose him. So he did kind of just enough to keep Melanie interested enough that in certain recoupling formats, he could have coupled up with her.
Yeah.
But the big play was going to be Kenzie, who clearly wasn't that into Caleb. And now that he's got her, he's like,
Well,
I could find another
they do
option.
Casa around the same time every year
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I think they can feel it coming.
He wanted to
Of
go
course.
to Casa.
Yeah, and I think that that's like part of the construction of the game that is like it's a little wonky there too, because it's like it never really behooves you to all eggs immediately or even before Casa, because you're going to have to go there. You're going to have to get the lap dances. You're going to have to get in the goo. You know, they all know that that's coming. And so the mechanics of the game, which now are like the game is so ubiquitous, it's been around for a long time too. And it's like ever present in culture. Everybody knows about Casa. So if you're playing the game, you have to, at a certain point, start distancing yourself with whoever you're in the couple with to justify whatever the fuck you're about to do in Casa.
Yeah, if you're not going to
Yeah.
all eggs, you got to be like, we're
You gotta
options open,
distance.
remember? I feel like that's especially what Casey does.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So the Islanders do get a text. And that text, though they do not realize it, is the Casa Amor kickoff for the season. It says that it's time for the Hearts on Fire challenge, which is like the heart monitor challenge where they have to try to like turn on people or scare them, I guess, who aren't in their couple.
Yeah. Turn them on or terrify them.
Terrifying is actually a really good strategy. That
I
gets your heart
agree.
rate up.
That's what I would
100%.
do.
Just come out screaming with a knife. Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill all of you.
I can't memorize
definitely
a
what I
dance,
would
so
do.
I couldn't do that part. But I could
Yeah.
have the element of surprise.
Yeah.
You pull out your phone. I got a text. World War III has started.
Oh, that would be too effective. That would be very plausible. So as they're getting ready in their little costumes, their little kilts and firefighter hats and stuff, the boys learn that it's time for Casa Amor. And so they quietly, in their little costumes, run out the door, grab their empty white suitcases, and skip away to Casa.
Yeah. All
I
very happy about it.
loved this intro to Casa. I mean, we'll get to what happens, but like it was perfection this episode.
I have some thoughts about the execution later, but
Interesting.
I loved the setup here. And I loved this next twist, which is that the women come down to find a huge box containing a flat screen TV showing their men in Casa Amor. And I was like, yes, this is what they need so that they don't see stuff later and realize that they should have been more open in Casa. They need to get mad and want to get even at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I thought this was brilliant.
It's
we
a common
totally agree.
problem we talked about of like the guys always explore and the women cry and are just like, when are we getting back together? And the producers are throwing everything they have at this problem. Unfortunately, I still think they needed to throw more.
Yeah.
But I was blown away by this. And the surveillance, that's something that, you know, has been experimented with in a bunch of different ways. In UK, they used it to show the guys going on dates with a couple bombshells, and it's so effective because they don't see it coming generally, and you don't want, like, the audience is primarily female. You're in their perspective for most of the show. You don't want them getting bamboozled.
Right. And it's like, it is a prisoner's dilemma setup. And it's a prisoner's dilemma setup in which one side, the women, almost always ends up losing and getting fucked by the other end of the dilemma. So you have to kind of tweak that classic formula. You got to be like, I think your partner over in the other interrogation room is really thinking about folding.
Yeah, they've done
There's something
things
they
like,
told me that they've never told anyone but you.
they've done
so,
like
you know, it's real.
newsletters with still photos. They've done like the text with a bunch of video clips is a common one. But even that, I think people were able to justify it to themselves, being like, "There's no context" and stuff. But
Yeah, they really had to sit through a lot. They were like weeping through a lot of it because it was so hard to watch. And that I didn't enjoy, but it was happening. So I wanted them to know.
The guys, as all these various bombshells are coming out and doing the lap dances and stuff, both Pace Case and I gave it our error of the week, how the guys behaved. It was pretty bad, like in terms of just play style. But even like when it does, the weird thing about reality TV is it can't cross into like you feel like you're seeing these guys' real like reactions to this, that this is not a play they're making, this is not acting, that they are really just kind of like in there grabbing these asses and fist bumping each other about it all. And it was kind of gross, to say the least.
Yeah. I think what I wrote at the top, yes, the vibes during this are absolutely rancid. You can tell some of the guys are getting off on the power they have to objectify and sexualize these women because they are the gateway to get back to the villa.
Yeah.
They're like talking to them in very demeaning and dehumanizing ways. They're like grabbing and smacking them without consent. We meet these 6 bombshells, Amora, Parmita, who it's so sad. Parmita autocorrects to Parmesan. So I've been seeing a lot of people accidentally calling her Parmesan, but Parmita is a beautiful name. She's stunning. She's kind of like every guy is like, oh my God. Like
every person watching, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Then we meet Jaden, Tiara or TT, Alana, and Sydney. So yeah, the guys are going buck wild. It's disgusting. Casey is like smacking asses. Corbin keeps telling the women, go to work, and like they're like bounce on it. I'm like, I'm sorry, did you pay for her services? Like,
That's
why are
the
you
thing.
ordering her
It's
around?
like strip club. It's weird. It's like
Worse than a strip club because they can touch.
that's what I was saying to Clues. I was like, I haven't even been. I've been to like one strip club maybe, and I'm like, I know the rules. You can't
Right.
touch.
Everyone knows the rules.
Like,
Keep your
that's
hands
part
to
of why
yourselves.
this was so uncomfortable, and like you're like, oh, they clearly are comfortable with strip clubs and have their own like phrases and things you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They're comfortable speaking to women in that way.
the heart rate challenge, like our heart's on fire. I don't know why they insist on that. Maybe because they're not doing their pulse anymore. They changed the name, but
Well, is this a real heart rate challenge?
No, that's why I
Because they
think they
just-
used the name, the
Right.
other name.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think we're
it's
getting
a bait
heart
and
rate
switch.
they used
later.
to put a thing on it. But
Yeah, because they don't have the monitors and they don't really, they just do a classic bombshell entrance like, I'm kissing everyone. It's not like a teasing.
It used to be like, I mean, traditionally, it's people who are close friends, have been living together for a long time, dancing on each other, maybe one bombshell. But this being like 5 bombshells, you don't know any of these people. What are you doing? Like, I saw a tit grab.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, it's pretty uncomfortable, to say the least. And I did watch this with my dad again.
Oh my
so
God.
This is the one you watched with your dad?
I
Oh,
watched
Jesus.
I watched like 3 episodes with my dad. He's like, we're gonna connect around your area of interest. And he
is the
had so
worst
many
scene to
regrets.
watch with your
This was the
dad
worst. So here's
possible.
my critique, my big critique of this
Holy shit.
episode. There is way too much of this because the ladies all do all of these routines and then they turn right back around and do it again with the guys going one by one. And it's basically the same content. I was like, we thought we were done. And we were like, now we're going to see some other plot. And instead, they just start doing more lap dances. I was like, spare me, please.
We
mean-
did get to see a move from the guys, though, that we didn't see from the women, where they are picking the women up and trying to throw them into space.
That was fun, but was it worth like 20 more minutes of lap dances for me? Like, no.
I think you would
could
have felt
seen something
differently
else.
if your dad wasn't there. I definitely didn't feel like I wanted it
I
to end.
rewatched it by myself and I was like, this could stop now. I'm good.
interesting.
Yeah. It was like, I'm always like all over the place when I'm thinking about like, why was there this much of any given thing shown or not shown in this show? And it's like, they have to make an episode every night. That's a part of it. I think like just the volume of material they have to produce means sometimes they're just gonna be like, fuck it, throw 30 minutes of the lap dances in there. That, not that it was like an afterthought or something, but also I think they really wanted to convey like just how detrimental this was for the OG women watching it. Just
The OG
how
women didn't
difficult
watch
it was to
this
see.
part. The OG women only watched the first
right.
part where the bombshells come
I would have
in.
kept that live feed going.
I would have just been like, great, now you've all sucked face. Time to get to know each other. Let's get some other footage for the rest of the show,
right.
personally. But there's a lot in the first round, especially, that is very telling. And I found that the second round was mostly kind of redundant, aside from the throwing them up in the air.
I mean, there's definitely
well-
still choices being made when the guys
Yeah.
are doing the dances, though. And I think that can be
That's
valuable
true.
information, but I just wish the live feed had been more. I wish we were going to get another one
Yeah.
because I still don't think these couples are breaking up. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I have hopes for a couple people other than Corbin and Kenzie,
Who?
but Casey and Aniya.
Oh, yeah, I really hope. But she had that one scene where she and who was it? Was it Melanie or was it Trinity?
I'm not sold that she's going to leave him, but I would not be surprised if Casey dumped her.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's possible.
We could have
I
another
guess.
I Pick Clark moment.
The
but
bottom line
I
is like,
Clark
I just
was so
don't.
good.
I don't care. I don't get a strong sense that any of the couples are real or that they actually care about each other. I certainly
Yeah.
don't care if they wind up together. And I think that's so far this season, that is like the one thing that's standing out to me that is kind of diminishing it in the face of season 6 and 7. This one just doesn't, like, in my opinion, stand up to those at this point.
I think that the only couples that it would be interesting to me if they broke up, like in terms of like making me more engaged in the show, would be Melanie and Sincere, because they already had a big like separation, and they feel like they came through that. And Bryce and Trinity, who are both now like weeping over each other. So if anything like fucks those two relationships up, I would find that interesting. The rest, I'm kind of like, they'll probably stay together, but like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Casey and Aniya, I think, will break up just because I'm like, they care about each other so little that I truly can't see how he would go back to her when he has like these hot women drooling over him and he wants to get laid more.
I don't know.
So
Aniya is an OG and has an NBA player father.
he called her grandma for not putting out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that he likes being around her. And I wouldn't be surprised if he
He
found
said,
a way
I've
to
never gone farther than whipped cream. Calling her grandma. Come on.
even
Grandmas
have
have
done that.
toys. Come on.
Some other things I wanted to call out from these lap dances. Parmita is Persian. She comes out and says, I'm not just a cat, which is her costume. She's a Persian cat. The men absolutely take this as permission to exoticize and objectify her. One of the guys later calls her the Persian, which felt really bad to me. Like they're talking
Bryce
about the women
calls
this way,
them,
the
like,
Persian, the blonde.
something, yeah.
Yeah. Alana, for some reason, skips all of the black men. And Casey smacks her ass. He's the first one that she reaches. He smacks her ass without asking. I hated that. I understand being like, never mind. But then she also kind of skips Corbin and Sincere. And it's
And
like,
she's the one who
why?
said the N-word.
Right. And then it came out immediately that she had said the N-word multiple times
Yikes.
on social and in video, and she appears to be getting scrubbed. And therefore, I would imagine she's been yanked at this point. It just hasn't made it to an episode yet. So
How do you think the formal yanking will occur? Do you believe they will give Ian Sterling one line, Alana has left the villa?
Yeah.
Or do you think we will hear nothing and she just won't be there anymore?
I bet we'll hear one line, and that's easy to miss.
Yes, I
Like,
agree.
it's easy he'll just say it, and then maybe they'll show Zach
Like
looking
Sierra.
like he's at loose ends. Yeah,
Do you think
mopey.
they'll allow the players to speak her name again? Or is that now, does the God voice come out and say, never say her name again?
I bet she's so easy to cut. Zach doesn't even
Yeah.
care. Like, I'm sure it will be
Yeah.
easy for them to make it float right by.
But the math of it will be off, right?
The math will
Because
be
they
off,
had-
which that's going to be the big thing for them to figure out. Do they bring in another bombshell to Casa, or do they leave Zach with no one with the
or they
option to
kick
bring him
Zach
back?
off the show. Sorry.
Oh,
Your
girl can
bombshell,
dream.
your bombshell got caught online using a racial slur. We have to kick you off too. Bye.
That would be amazing. Don't think that's what will happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
In her intro package, TT says she falls hard and gets attached quick, and she keeps thinking about KC. And like, she clearly does fall hard and get attached quick because she hasn't even met him yet. And she's like, I can't stop thinking about my man.
Yeah.
So, oh boy. Sydney tells Sincere he looks like Lord Farquaad. I really enjoyed this.
I've seen
Deep
some
cut.
good AI videos of Sincere as Lord Farquaad dancing around.
Sincere's definitely
Fantastic.
getting photoshopped the most of anyone.
Yeah.
Something about that costume just wasn't doing anything for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also feel like, as we kind of lightly touched on before, there was like overall a bit of a racial dynamic that arose throughout. Like, the men seemed to be a bit more touchy and handsy overall with the black bombshells. Bryce describes Alana as more classy
The
and says
classy
her dance
thing.
was less aggressive. And then he says he felt special getting to take off her wings. It's like, oh my God, Bryce, like, she's not into you. It's part of her
That's
show.
why I'm like, I don't get the whole Brinity shipping thing. I'm like, Bryce, the
Yeah.
bombshells just weren't into Bryce. That's why he's sticking.
She let him take off her wings. She's clearly into him.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He's special to her.
You're right. I forgot about that gesture.
She was his Nicolas Cage to his Meg Ryan.
Nicolas Cage and Meg
You guys,
Ryan.
you guys never saw the movie where Nicolas Cage plays an angel who comes to Earth specifically to fall in love with Meg Ryan?
I
It's where
can't
the
say
Goo
that
Goo
I
Dolls
have.
song Iris
City
was
of
made famous.
Angels.
Wow.
Somehow I missed that one.
I don't
Again, I'm
think
29
so.
years old.
Yeah.
I don't.
Just
Well,
for
that's
the
why your
record.
references are a little different because I'm actually 38, so I'm a little bit older than
I'm too
you.
young, right? I think
That's
that
why,
movie came
you
out
know,
in like
about the
1997 or
Clues
something.
has a hit
1998.
rate with me of like 3% of references, I think. It's not good.
If you've never seen City of Angels, I highly
Yeah.
recommend it. It is both kind of pretty good and hilariously bad simultaneously. And the
That's my
ending,
shit. That's my shit.
you're not going to believe the ending. I'll simply say that.
And
Check it out.
he takes her wings off.
No, she takes his off.
wings
He
off.
gives
'Cause
his
he's an
wings up,
angel.
basically.
She takes his
Okay.
wings off. He becomes a human.
He becomes a human so that he
Just
can
like
be
in
with
The Little
her.
Mermaid.
Wowie.
Yeah.
I would not do that if I was an angel.
What does a pear taste like to you? That's a big line in the movie.
Oh, God.
Okay.
And I don't
We can't.
want the
Clues,
world
stop.
We can't.
to see us.
We can't.
'Cause I
we
don't
can't. We have
think
two
they
episodes to go.
He's hijacked
and
another
we're
one.
An hour and a half in. You cannot
so
recite
sorry.
the entire script of City of
I'm
Angels.
so
Okay.
Claire, I need you on all of our podcasts
I'm so
to help
No,
me.
I'm the problem on our podcast. I don't shut up.
shit.
Emma's like, keep it moving. Okay. So several of the women kind of do their big move on Casey. Like they each get to like pick one person to bring up for like a little show. And Casey's like, oh, I keep getting pulled. Like I have aura in Casa that I didn't have in the villa.
Dumb.
He very quickly is like, now I have status. The women here want me. One thing I think is like telling about Casey's reaction here. Obviously, it immediately goes to his head. But I'm like, they know that the bombshells have been watching. And so the bombshells paying them attention is almost like an indication of their status. Like if he's getting a lot of pull, it's because he is perceived well and or his relationship is perceived as weak. And those are both things that like would encourage him to, I think, kind of dive in because he's like, I clearly have a lot of clout and also maybe I should switch up my relationship. Like there's
Yeah.
info that they're bringing in that and on other shows that isn't something that happens with bombshells. It's like a complete blank slate.
I agree. And I think that's one of the most interesting things about Love Island is like they do get the information. I'm curious as to what that information is, though. Are they watching just like straight episodes of the show or the producers cutting packages specifically for this bombshell to be like, here's your target? You know, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I don't know exactly what they've seen, but they've seen enough that they are then able to like convey certain things. And we see this more like openly discussed back at the villa.
It just seems
later.
like a wild thing to me when you know that they get dumped if they don't pull someone.
Yeah.
Like, I would just assume it's the low-hanging fruit thing. But
Yeah. But we see that like Sincere, no one seems that interested in. I think that's got to be also because they know he's not a high value person to couple up with because everyone hates him.
or you
Totally.
can't,
Or
or you
he's not
can't
coming
pull
off
him
well.
for Melanie. Like that's what I would assume.
Yeah, those are
yeah.
yeah. I think that both things could be
Yeah.
at play.
No, you're
I
probably
guess.
right.
So after the girls do their lap dances and the guys all do their lap dances, Bryce decides that because the other boys have better bodies, he'll have to lead with humor. And this is where a guy like Bryce can really get a woman like me. I see all the toxic things he says and does. And there's still a part of me that's like, this is the only guy on here who's behaving like someone that I would ever date, which is
Sucking all the
to do
feet?
a goofy dance.
Oh.
Instead of being like a seriously like I'm going to pretend that I'm having sex with you in our swimsuits. You know, I wouldn't date a guy like that. I find Bryce more relatable. And I think that is,
Right.
it makes it hard for me to remember that he is also toxic.
Yeah. The other guys are too lustful for you. We get it.
They're too
Yeah.
lustful.
Yeah.
You're a feet gal. We get it.
They're too secure in their confident sexualities.
Yeah.
I need an insecure man.
You, Claire, don't lie. You heard the results of the girth check and you said, sign me up.
I'm hearing
That's
that
all
his
I need to
semi
hear.
is as big as Zach's full.
I mean,
okay.
that's huge.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's why it's
This
important
is
to
comparative.
share with the class. Yeah.
We don't have an objective ruling on the girth check. We just have a comparative,
comparative.
response
Yeah, you're right.
between what is Zach's
We need
and what is
another point.
Right. It's a very, very limited piece of information. We get through all of these dances. I will say one thing. The men make the women do a lot of work. even when they're the ones doing the show. They're like, why don't you get up here and ride on me? Why don't you like twerk on me? And I'm like, you didn't have to do anything when the women were going around. Let them
Professional
rest,
starfish.
you know? We know Zach is a professional starfish.
100%. He won't even make
open about
breakfast.
that. He was like,
Yeah.
I don't like to do any work. That's why I like Cowgirl. First episode.
That's why I like Cowgirl. That's why I refuse to make breakfast.
Yeah. Always looking for a way to get out of the chores.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at Casa, the women are all furious. And Aniya's like, if Casey wants to throw 3 weeks away, he didn't care about what we had to begin with. My dad absolutely lost it at this line. He wants to throw away the 3 weeks we spent together.
He doesn't know Love
Wait,
Island
did your
time
dad
is
watch any
work.
reality TV?
Listen, I laugh too. It's hard to, like, the thing is that it's both true and also ridiculous. It's like, it's ridiculous to be like, he wants to throw away 3 weeks, but also in the villa, 3 weeks is a really long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no cell
And
phones,
so
24 hours
It's
a
kind
day.
of funny and true at the same time.
It is.
Yeah, it's always
He does
funny
not
when
watch
this-
reality TV, though.
Okay, so he's measuring it against like real world relationships.
Yeah.
But like in none of these shows does that apply. Not in Love is Blind, not in Love Island, not in Bachelor. It's all this truncated amount of time that you have to like literally fall in love with somebody or at least convey
It's
that to
true.
an audience.
I also think that if you are really into someone, even in the real world, you could get really attached in 3 weeks.
Give me one day.
But it's also kind of funny, I think, because Aniya and Casey it's hard to feel like they've built something that is that genuine or deep on either side. It's really just time. It's like, well, we spent 3 weeks together.
Yeah.
Trinity has the ick from Bryce. Mela has gone dangerously quiet. She's like, let them have their fun. We can see how they move. And then
I loved this line.
we'll know.
And she's
I was
like, that's
she's
how they'll
learned.
operate in the real world.
Yes. Better to know now than to leave with a man who's going to act like that at the club. They're also like, why have no guys come in for us? And I was also annoyed. I wanted the guys to come now. They end up making angry grilled cheeses, except for Kata and Kenzie, who hear the Casa girls chanting, Casa, Casa, and decide to scream, fuck you, back at Casa. And the Casa girls get kind of shook, and I was like, "Come on! Like you're chanting so they can hear you. Of course they're gonna shout back."
Yeah.
And then Kenzie starts doing angry split twerking, clam slamming. I saw some people describe it
The
as.
club slam.
This was weird. I was like, is she fritzing out? Does she think they can see her, or is she doing it just purely for the cameras?
Yes.
Or purely
this just
to
how she
express
expresses
the
herself?
emotion, to express
To
the
express
grind.
the
I
emotion.
choose to believe it's all.
Well, she has said
Yeah.
that like the groin is where she releases emotion.
I-
Yes, by
this
like
Yes.
was my favorite moment
getting
of
her
the
anger
season.
this was
too.
incredible.
I couldn't believe what I was watching.
So this brings us to episode 18, and we still have 2 episodes left, you guys.
Oh, my
shit.
god!
Yeah.
Here's a two-parter for you, Claire.
Let's try to speed through episode 18 here.
Okay.
They're doing some exploring around Casa. The men ask the bombshells to share beds. Bryce pulls Sydney, the one that Trinity called a dupe of me. But in his confessional, he's like, I'm just thinking of Trinity. Zach pulls Alana, who is into him, but worried that because of the hideaway sex, he will not be able to leave Kata. And he's like, no, I'm open. And this is when he learns that she made out with his brother.
Yeah. I saw some conjecture about this online. So she claims she met him at a party in the show, but then online people are saying, no, they went on dates and shit.
Yeah, I've seen some variants. I don't know what the truth is, but I was really thrown that she was brought here to couple up with him, and that then she's like leading with that information.
Because I think
'Cause
she was told to.
Yeah,
I
but,
think part of
would
why
he-
she was cast was because of this, that she has some interaction with the brother and they were going to
Yeah.
try to use that as a storyline.
and he likes that, I guess.
Do you think she even went
I-
to USC Film School?
Well, no, because she's like, I go to USC Film School, and they're like, what do you study? And she's like, film. I'm like, there are a lot of concentrations you could have. Like, do you know?
I mean, I graduated from USC's film school in 1999 when I was
No,
5 years old.
2022.
I don't know if it's still the same, but when I was there were 3 tracks you could go through. There was filmic production, filmic writing, and critical studies. And you had to be in one of those 3 tracks basically to get your diploma. So, I mean, yes, you technically study film in all 3 of those, but they are, slightly different, I suppose.
She seemed really baffled by the idea that there would be any further answer to that, which was a little odd. My guess was just that she was like kind of using some like technicality, like she got accepted, or like, she went to their extension school. Like, I don't know. Something rang false there.
Allegations.
I don't know if that exists.
I was just, we talked about this a little bit on our show.
I took film classes at UCLA Extension.
Oh, nice.
Well, there you go. Casey pulls Tiara and he tells her he hasn't even explored. And she's like, well, you're going to explore me. And he immediately throws her down and makes out with her. Whenever he's getting to know the bombshells, he's always just like, I'm throwing you down and we're making out. And that's mostly what we see. Sincere asks Amora to share his bed. Corbin asks Jaden. Caleb asks Parmita, who's like, okay. And then they make out.
It's wild to me, like, he is the easiest path of entry into like main cast of the show, and she seems completely unenthused. She's just like, yeah, I guess, fuck it. She has the prize, in my opinion. He's the easiest one to pull, but then obviously we're going to see very quickly she tries a higher level, higher degree of skill play.
I mean, I think that in the pecking order, like, all the guys had the strongest reaction to her. So she probably, I would understand feeling like she has options. But it's interesting to me that the guys didn't necessarily seem to go for their top picks for this. Like, it almost seems like a lot of them entered this with the idea that they would switch up and like try out different ladies. In the morning, Sincere admits to the guys that he kissed Amora in bed, but he says he misses Melanie. In the villa, the women are super mad still. Trinity and Aniya are pissed at KC. They're like, he keeps playing in Aniya's face. Kenzie is upset because she thought she was beautiful, but Corbin is hitting on other women. So that doesn't like make sense, because if she was beautiful, obviously that would never happen. And Trinity is like, no, models get cheated on. That's a thing that happens. Which is correct. Yeah. So true. There's no level of beautiful you can be.
That's right. Especially not on Love Island. All of these players are the hottest people in whatever dating pool they come from. And then they get here and it's like, you're just kind of one of many. There's nothing special about your level of attractiveness here. Yeah,
they all are baffled by the fact that they don't instantly win by virtue of being the hottest person around, because there are so many other hot people around.
I love it.
I love seeing hot people not feeling special.
Getting rejected for the first time in their lives.
Yeah, it feels good. But the cavalry is coming for these girls because the Casa boys are on their way. They're in different colored neon swim trunks on a yacht. And the boys in Casa can see and hear them chanting, Villa, Villa, Villa. And they are not pleased. Meanwhile, the women are with Ariana doing like a synchronized TikTok dance.
I love this. Ariana has been twerking for years and years on Vanderpump Rules. She finally got to strut her stuff here.
Yeah, maybe this was Ariana's idea.
I mean, for what it's worth, it just really, in my mind, separates her out as like a Dark Lord that no one can really hold a candle to. Like, can you imagine Dark Lord Jesse Palmer doing this with any cast of any Bachelor season? Can you imagine Dark Lord Nick or Vanessa Lachey doing this with any cast of any Love is Blind season? She is the only Dark Lord that can kind of be amongst the players and fit in with them, in my opinion.
Yeah, she can really hang. The boys immediately start freaking out, especially Zach, who has been so hyped to be open. But now he's like, maybe a guy will talk to Kata, and I don't like that. Casey seems more chill about it. He says something like, TT's already crazy over my ass. Okay. Okay, ego. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm set. This hottie is obsessed with me.
Yeah. He's won the game.
And he's like, who cares about Aniya? TT is crazy over me.
Fuck the repercussions.
in the villa between these dance sequences, the synchronized dance sequences that they see. It's sort of like watching a high school movie prom scene where it's like they had to film all these synchronized dance scenes and then in between they get to chat.
Yeah.
One guy is telling the ladies about a great date that he went on where he got omakase, and Kenzie says, I don't like sushi. It freaks me out. And then someone brings up tuna tartare and she says she tries to avoid cheese. Does she
Makes sense.
know what that is? Is she thinking of a
don't think
tuna
so.
melt?
Maybe I could see that being the case. I also will say the things you're talking about where it has them doing these dances and then they're intercutting with the conversations. This episode was the one that they screened in movie theaters. So those kind of like slow motion dance sequences, I thought visually were stunning. And to have seen that on a big screen, I'm sure was very fun. I haven't talked to anybody who went to actually see it in a movie theater, and I don't know what the response has been to it, but I imagine it was probably
such a
pretty cool.
limited run, right? It was just like under 30 theaters.
Not
I
even in the
think.
state of Minnesota. Can you believe that?
Everyone in Minnesota would have to go out of state just for that. I was stuck home with the kids, so I had no option to go, even if it was possible. But that would have been really fun to see on the big screen
Next year we'll all go.
next year. So I feel like I didn't get to know any of these guys because they bring in 12 guys.
Yep.
I couldn't bring myself to remember their names or learn anything about them. And I felt like overall what happened was like, it seemed like they were trying to overcompensate by giving the women tons of options to encourage them to explore. But it's sort of like a cheerleader effect. Like if you look closer at the guys, you're kind of like, okay, like I'm not sure any of these individual guys are going to be the total package of like hotness and charm and compatibility that might actually dislodge any of these specific women.
It seems like a good idea in theory in order to make them split, but it also takes away time, which is like really precious in Casa
And they're
Amor.
already short because the guys got an extra night.
Yeah. I don't know how long they're going to do it for. Hopefully longer, but
They remind me a lot of Gabby Windey and Rachel Recchia's season 19 of The Bachelorette, where it's basically like, oh, it's double everything, right? No, that actually means half screen time. That means half relationship building time. That means half interest from the audience in any given one of these guys. It's like a good idea on paper, but then in execution, it was a mess of a half an episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It backfired for me. So half of them also don't get to stay the night. They're going to be dumped at the end of the day. Before this happens, they each get to pick 2 girls to make out with. I love this. They were clearly like, we can't have all 12 of the guys make out with all 6 of the girls. That's too much.
Yeah.
So Aniya gets pulled a lot. One guy makes out with her while doing squats. And if I were Aniya, I would maybe be a little bit like, what are the guys seeing that makes them think that I'm the person to get pulled? It's sort of like Casey too. It's like, what's their play here?
The incoming players and sometimes the players themselves, when they get like the results of a poll that they've done on the app or when they read the tweets or whatever, it's this slow kind of drip of information from outside the show that comes in to affect the relationships. What are these guys seeing? What is America seeing that I'm not seeing? And that to me is like one of the most fascinating parts of Love Island.
Yeah, totally. So at Casa, meanwhile, Corbin tells the guys that he thinks Kenzie would fuck him over because of the rap sheet he's been shown. And he's like, she probably started throwing it back, like doing splits, literally slut shaming her. She has done way more with Corbin than anyone
split
else.
shaming.
I was really shocked by this. And I like, obviously, as you were saying, this is a way of giving a reason that he can pivot, but it also, I think, plays in and perhaps also derives from this obsession with women's body counts and this idea that like it's actually not okay for women to be too sexual, especially once you have them locked down. Like it's great if they're being sexually open, if that means you get to hook up with them. But once you've done that, now you're kind of like, well, but how many guys have you hooked up with? That decreases your value. Other men perceive you in a way that isn't flattering to me. They don't think it's impressive that I bagged you. So now I need to move on and find someone who is.
Yeah,
And that really put me off.
That's all laid into that. And this season also has the lustful thing that's like a part of it. For whatever reason, I don't remember this happening in season 6 and 7, but in season 8, it does seem to be there, that there can be, at least in the mind of these players, that it's a valid play to sometimes make to, dismiss or even look down upon the reason for your promiscuous behavior or the volume of it. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that happened in 6 and 7. Did it?
I don't think it's in the DNA of the show. Although
yeah, exactly.
The scene I was just watching on UK, they reveal like one of the characters' body counts, and they say, well, if that was a girl, that would be bad. Like someone said that, like, well, no, that would be bad or something. And I was like, in the
They
year
did
of our
that
Lord, 2026?
last year, right? They did that on Love Island USA, where they had everyone reveal their body counts for a challenge.
Yeah.
And
Austin was 10,000 or something like that. Do you
right,
remember that?
but the women actually got more like slut shaming for numbers that were equivalent to like some of the lowest numbers from the men.
Oh, I don't
But it
remember
was
that
perceived as much more like shocking and shameful for women to have like 20, whereas for men that was kind of a low number. And then of course everyone's just like, Austin, you sick freak.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah. He's a pool guy.
you. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
You got to fight to keep that number down as a pool guy.
Yeah.
Melanie pulls Aniya so they can giggle about how much they miss their men. And
I hated this.
Melanie says she and Sincere were good, so she hopes he's just having fun one last time, like a bachelorette. And they both try to figure out what the guy version of a bachelorette is and give up and are like, I guess it's just bachelorette.
Mm-hmm. We can
This
never
was
know.
a knife in my heart.
Open
It means
the
they've never
schools.
seen The Bachelor.
How are they not? It's The Bachelor is just take off the et. It's the feminized suffix. Like it's right there. They've probably never seen The Bachelor. They're too young.
I know.
They don't even register these shows anymore.
The Bachelor hasn't been on TV for a year either. It's out of the zeitgeist.
I do feel like Aniya is at least saying like Casey is clearly having a blast, so I'm gonna try to put my own feelings first and explore. But it's clear that like they're both really still preoccupied with their OG partners.
And they like think it's cute. Like, oh, we're both still suffering. Like, oh, the fourth audience is going to get behind us. We're so for TRR. Yeah, I'm sad.
I feel like women are in a tough position because people want them to explore, but then if they do, it's like, oh, you didn't even care about him. Like, it's gross that you just want
Women
to.
are always in a tough position. Literally everywhere, all the time. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's very hard to please people.
Answer for men.
Okay.
Why aren't they fixing
What is
this?
wrong
On
with
behalf
you
of
guys?
all
Why aren't
men.
they fixing?
What's that?
Why aren't they fixing this?
Who?
The men.
Men.
What? I think Love
You broke
Island
it, you fixed
was
it.
trying to kind of
Patriarchy.
fix it.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
they
this
tried.
season of Love Island was trying to fix it a little bit by
Yeah.
showing the footage to the women. It really justified, at least for the fourth audience, and really, I mean, for anybody else, it should justify whatever any of these women players want to do because these guys behave so poorly.
Yeah.
And so if they want to, bust out and explore or make out with two guys at once or whatever the thing may be, I feel like the show did a good job of being like, you can't be mad at them. Look what these assholes are doing.
I agree with that. I'm glad they did that. The ladies pick guys to share their beds. Kata picks Che, who is half Indian, and like her, they kind of bond over having just like a white mom. Like, look at us with our basic white moms. He tells her that he will make raw eggs for her for some reason.
Ew.
Che is like, people just want Kata to pick Che because they hate Zach, but like he's giving me weird vibes too. Carl pulls
Rancid
Aniya.
vibes.
Aniya was like a D1 volleyball player. Carl's like, volleyball's big in my family. We play all the time. So they immediately bond over this. He tells her he's half Chinese. He speaks some Mandarin, but he's also been to Japan. He speaks some Japanese. She's like, I've always wanted to go to Japan. He teaches her some new words.
I loved this
and
language
she
lesson.
So cute. I was like, they're actually talking about shared interests. Like, I can't emphasize enough how rare it is to actually see people talking about somewhat specific shared interests on this show. They're always like, we have things in common.
Yeah.
Air,
Beach.
What do you like?
soup,
Candy?
and snow peas.
Yes,
Yeah.
I eat candy. All right, finally, a candy eater.
He also tells Aniya that his mom has chicken, so he can cook eggs any way she wants. And this is such a huge selling point on a show where someone recently had to teach a man how to make scrambled eggs. Like, he's ready. He can take an order. He's like, I can do over easy, whatever you want. Trinity chats with Corey about how much they both love fashion, and she asks him to sleep in her bed. Meanwhile, in Casa, the men keep exploring. Zach tells Alana, who is an only child, that she seems like she has sisters, and when she says she wants one kid, maybe two, he tells her she has to have more and says two is boring. I was like, wow, the evidence keeps stacking up that Zach is listening to the Right Wing podcast.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Two is
She's not having
boring.
enough kids for you. You just met her.
She's
That's right.
21 years old, sir. She's a kid.
And the episode builds to this kind of Brinity crescendo, which is the best romantic storyline that the show has to offer right now. Bryce goes with Sincere to kind of gaze mournfully over the roofs at the villa. And he's like, I'm struggling. I made a joke today that Trinity would have laughed at. And Alana just said, I don't get it. And I didn't even want to cuddle Sydney in bed. I just remember how amazing it was on the first day when I wanted Trinity to be behind the door, and then she was there and she picked me. And Sincere's like, yeah, it's amazing to be chosen by your person. Like, this is just our last biggest test. And in a confessional, Bryce is weeping about how much he likes Trinity, and they just get each other. She makes him feel special, like he's enough. Meanwhile, we see Trinity making out with Corey in the photo booth.
Great editing.
Incredible editing. I was like, this is working. Like, I don't even like Bryce, but I'm like feeling things because this is just like, it's like cinematic, right? It's hitting the expected narrative beats to create that sense of like mutual yearning and like the romantic crescendo a little bit. And
Yeah.
they made that happen in the editing booth.
And
I
one
love that
person's
for me.
exploring and might victimize the other one, but I got my hopes up and I was wrong again.
Wrong again. Let's get to episode 19 before it's too late. So Kenzie and Dylan, the bombshell, are getting to know each other. Dylan is an interesting guy because I was like, he's the cutest to me, I think. And then I was like, is that because he looks like he would be the hottest dad at the playground? Like, he looks like he's 37 and he's gonna, like, his toddler named like Miles is gonna run by or something. But he's not, right?
You're saying Dylan is daddy.
He has that kind of like daddy look, but I think he's in his
Interesting.
mid-20s.
All I remember is the face that he made during the Kenzie
The playground
challenge.
dad would not be doing that. They have this wild getting to know you banter. She asks for his birthday, then his height, which is 6'3", and then she's like, oh yeah, I noticed you were tall. No shit.
We joked about that too on our recap. It's like, okay, so you have basic understanding of height then. Very good.
And then he says his grandparents were both 6'3", so I guess he had two grandparents. Most of us have four. And he gets his height from them. She's like, what did you call your grandparents? And then she says that she would want her grandkids to call her Sugar. And then she's like this, my boobs are called Sugar, Spice, and my face is everything nice. And I was like, you want your grandkids to call you the name you've given your right boob.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right.
Sure. Dylan then pulls a Corbin and pretends he forgot which was which because he's a visual learner, and so she has to do it again. And she loves her some Corbin, so it works.
And
Yeah.
she doesn't have good vision. 30,
But
20.
I think, like, I don't know if this season is hampered by, as these seasons go on and they become more and more popular and more a piece of like pop culture, you see what happens to the detrimental stuff that happens to some of the players who get ostracized by the audience or whatever. I think a lot of these players coming into the season are hesitant to really play out because they don't want to be perceived as a villain. They don't want the negative blowback from possibly the audience turning on them. I think Kenzie's starting to come out of that shell a little bit now. We were promised something with Kenzie in that the opening teaser where she's doing the splits on the bed, that this is going to be an electric player who's going to be doing crazy stuff all the time. And she was a little subdued. Now it's fucking, she's off to the races. She's doing angry splits, angry twerking. She's naming her boobs. Like
she says
she's
in her
working this
confessional.
now.
She says in her confessional that she can feel her aura getting even stronger because of Dylan. And after they kiss, she starts shouting, "Yay, you're a good kisser. I won the jackpot."
Yeah, no more turtle tongue.
I mean, she did a little dance song after kissing Corbin of like big hands and tall. Ah!
I got a man with muscles.
Yeah, that's what it was.
No, the potential has always been there. She asked Dylan to share her bed. Jen has clearly zeroed in on one of the most controversial picks from the 12, Gal, who is like a surfer influencer who has like sun-in bleached tips, or like the top of his hair is like orangey. And he covers it with a hat for this conversation, which I think was wise.
Damn.
And she's like, he's so my type and so sexy. And she asked him to share a bed. So we've discovered Jen's type.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's this guy. Mel talks to Ronnie and she asks if he was scared of what he saw of her on the show. And he says that it was like a beware of dogs sign. And I love dogs. So they agree to share a bed. Trinity tells the girls later about her chat and make out with Corey. And she's like, it was good, but I felt like a piece of shit because of Bryce. That's who I have feelings for. I just want to be with him. Sorry, Lizzy.
It's, whatever.
It's true love between a toxic, creepy man with a body he's insecure about and my favorite person on this season.
It's just, I almost am never rooting for, the winners or whoever. It's fine. I'm
it's
used
hard to
it at
root
this
for
point.
a couple on this
I can root
show.
for them to do well on social media, and that's it. And Trinity, I think, is doing well.
Over at Casa, Corbin pulls the woman he's really had his eye on, Parmita, and she reveals that they messaged and, in fact, followed each other on Instagram, and he doesn't remember. He's like, I DM with the hottest woman I've ever seen in my life every day. That's
You're
normal
gonna have
to
to
me.
be more
this is not ringing a
specific.
bell. She has the exchange like memorized. It was like an invitation. One of them was coming to Miami, an invitation to work out together. And I was like, wow, hot people live in this alternate reality where they're all just, they all are friends. Like, they're like, we're hot, so we follow each other and then we DM each other and are like, want to be hot in the same place and maybe have sex afterwards.
Let's work out together. Couldn't be me.
Could never be me. He
I've
asked
been
her to
in
share.
like multiple year-long relationships where we never worked out together.
Well, that's not fair. We did, in fact, work out together once before we got married. We were like, we're going to get fit for the wedding.
Yeah.
It was just a super hardcore HIIT training workout.
We're a fitness couple. We've been together for like 13 years, and that's like the one time we've worked out together. So he asked her to share his bed, and she's like, no, I need to sleep. Like, she's going to just have to hook up with him instead if they share a bed. And then they put up a pillow in front of themselves and make out.
I like
so
this.
all the other guys are just sitting all together with all the other bombshells looking over at this pillow that's wobbling in front of them. And it's just so obvious what's happening.
I think it's funny.
And this is what I was talking about with her. She has Caleb if she wants him.
Right.
And she's like, nah, let me see if I can notch up here. But also, like, that's an astute play to recognize that Corbin is also a viable entry to the villa.
Yeah.
A harder one, like by all rights, because he is in a couple with one of the superstars of the season. But in this moment, I guess it's like it's correct to recognize that he's already done enough, that maybe she's going to be mad enough. Like there's so much that goes into that
Yeah.
that I don't know
And that
how
it's
she
not
could
a very
possibly know.
long-standing couple, right? And one
Yeah.
that he was sort of bound to try to stay in order to stay on the show.
It's bold
I also
after the
think-
French fry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They clearly are like, that means nothing to Corbin and Kenzie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever calculus they're making, they're like, Zach and Kata are married now because they went to the hideaway. But the French fries, for some reason, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Also, this moment was strange to me because I was like, do they want to be seen? Because there are other places you could go and make out if you don't want everyone to be sitting across the way staring at you.
I think that this goes back to when the bombshells first came in, and it was the kind of like group of bros being like, yeah, dude, she made out with you. Now she's going to make out with me. Now she's lap dancing
Yeah.
you. Now she lap dancing me. I don't think they give a shit. And you even see it
Right.
toward the end of this episode when Caleb and Corbin are like fist bumping, like, may the best man win, dude.
Yeah. And then Caleb just moves on because he's like, what, am I going to lose the same competition again?
Tough.
Casey and Sydney chat, and he's like, I'm just so happy to be here with different women. He brings up Aniya and says that their relationship is very strong and he wants to keep pursuing it for now. And Sydney is like, you want to be wanted? And he's like, yeah. He asks her to share his bed that night, and they make out a couple times. He goes back for seconds, he pushes her down on the bed. Later, he will say that she feels like a sister to him, like the next day, or a friend. And so he has to then sit down with TT and suggest to her that they pull other people. He's like, you should be talking to other people. She's like, I'm not worried. I know what I want. And he tells her the feeling is mutual, but he doesn't want her to limit her, like, exploring. He's like, I'm going to sleep with Sydney tonight. She gets very mad. And what I find is interesting is he has known TT for one day, and they are having the same argument that he had with Aniya like 3 times. And there's only one common denominator here, and it's not Aniya.
Yep.
She's literally saying some of the same things. She's like, why are we arguing? Like, do what you want. I don't give a damn. Like, I don't care. I'm like, how many times have I heard Aniya give him that reaction? She's like, I'm not mad, but it's been noted. And Casey laughs and is like, stop doing that. You're stressing yourself out. What are we thinking about the way Casey is approaching all of this?
Terrible.
He's a terrible player.
Terrible.
I mean,
I thought he was so good earlier on. I was like, the blueprint.
He's throwing away his goodwill.
He's in the A couple with Aniya. He could have just
He showed us.
written that out.
He showed us who he was with that fucking plant door. We should have believed that when he showed that to us.
Yeah, you're
And then he
right.
bought us
Believe 'em
back
when they tell
when
you.
he was able to turn it into a narrative of like, oh, it didn't matter that you didn't pick me. We made it together anyway. We're with who we should be with. You're the blueprint, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, this guy maybe is a player. And then immediately after that, just proceeds to shit the bed at every turn, including now. Just a bad player.
Yeah.
He got in trouble
Yeah.
for thinking about pursuing soul. It's like, if you're going to get in trouble for it, at least explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that, like, Sincere made his own, like, bad decisions where he wasn't fully honest, but at least he just did it, you know? Like, you're taking the heat. Don't try to claim to Aniya that she has nothing to worry about and it's totally fine. All that does is get her spidey sense up when you're telling the guys other stuff is getting back to her, when you're pulling soul and being flirty with her. Like, she's seeing that your words to her and your actions aren't matching up. So just make the match by exploring soul. Just do it. And if you can ride it out, maybe you and Aniya can be stronger afterwards.
Yeah.
A lot of times that is a strong couple in the villa, is like someone that people have seen make it through one of these.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they get back together.
I can't. I'm really hoping that he doesn't, that he just moves on. Sincere talks to Amora. Every time they talk, it just kind of feels like he's logging his time. Like, he looks listless. He's saying platitudes. She's saying platitudes.
She's a pretty good
And-
player, though. Like, I feel like Sincere would be one of the hardest to pull at this point, just because he's just gotten in so much trouble. And she's like, is the relationship serving you? Think about your affirmation. Live in the moment. Just like throwing anything at the wall to get him to like open his mind. And
She's doing the best she can.
Yeah.
He just seems like he is not fully present to me when they're doing their scenes together. The next morning, Casey, Sincere, and Zach gather to gaze at the villa where their ladies live, and Casey asks if the girls are stressed like they are. And Zach says no, because the girls haven't been stressed this whole time. And Kata probably has guys all over her. Why does he think they haven't been stressed this whole time? Like, he was
because
just
he can't
like
put
putting
himself
Kata
in their
through it.
shoes.
It's
He's
yeah.
villainizing them. Like, this doesn't mean shit to them. They can just fly
Yeah.
through this
Yeah.
experience and they're not being hurt or like affected in any way emotionally. That's kind of what he's attempting to imply, I think.
And
in that
attacking
thing.
the producers like, oh, they've just been
Yeah.
very male bombshells.
Which isn't true. There have been plenty of female
Yeah.
bombshells. It's like they feel so offended by the presence of any male bombshells that they can't believe
Yeah.
that even happens.
It's his gameplay style vacillates, and sometimes it happens simultaneously between this weird control style when he's with the person that he's with, and then when he's not, he vacillates back to like a victim kind of play, and
Yeah.
neither work. He's not able to pull either of those things off, in my opinion.
Yeah. This was a particularly blatant
He's also kind
example.
of,
It's like you can't even empathize with your own partner at all.
No.
You can't put yourself in her position.
He also does what we saw Kendall do, which is it seems like he has been trying to break up all the other couples.
Oh, big time. Big time. Yeah. Zach says that when he kisses Alana, he's thinking about Kata. Casey says that he barely cuddled Sydney. Poor Sydney is not getting any cuddles. But for him, it's because he's more attracted to TT. This is why I kind of actually do think Casey and Aniya won't come back together. Everything he says about their relationship now is negative, and everything that he's saying positively in comparative situations is about TT, not Aniya.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, at
I
the very
wonder if he
least-
thinks he has enough capital that like he can pull off a swap here.
perhaps.
Yeah.
He also is going to be stung by this at movie night. If he does get back with Aniya, like all
For
this
sure.
is going to be played right to her face.
For sure. Corey pulls Melanie, and they immediately start talking about dominance. This whole episode really smacked of gender and like gender slop and like red pill shit.
Gender
He says
slop, I
that-
like that.
He says that for Melanie, there's basically a kind of man that can handle her. And if he fucks up, she can cuss him out and he can handle being held accountable. And so he's like one of these men that can take this like sort of feisty, fiery woman.
He's even more dominant than her.
Right. She tells him she wants a dominant man because she dominates everything and she needs to be submissive with her man.
Oh, I saw on Threads that he's also a Nepo baby, that he is Daniela's cousin.
Oh, I did not realize that.
I don't have it confirmed, but throw that out there.
Go.
Well, I was really bummed, but not surprised because Melanie does seem to have pretty traditional views of relationship formation. And we saw it with the idea that like it was okay for Sincere to leave her for Soul and like lie to her because he knew where home was and like he came back to her. And so that makes it okay.
So let me ask you, you've only worked out with your husband one time. How often have you had the conversation about like, oh, who's more dominant? Who's a sub?
First date,
Yeah.
you know, and onward, you know.
And,
I'm like, I want to be put in my
Smart.
place. I want to be shoved back down by a boot on the top of my head.
I figured.
That's where I feel comfortable. Yeah.
Jesus.
Corey says there's just a small number of men who can be dominant with a woman who is like as dominant as she is. And I was like, oh, there it is. Like you feel in this worldview, you see that bagging a successful or spirited or like tough woman is really about like winning some sort of like homosocial competition among other men. You're so high status, you can out alpha the most like challenging woman around. You can break her.
Tammy of the Shrew.
Yeah,
But it was also an implied insult at Sincere. I'm the
yes.
type of guy who can dominate you, meaning the
yeah.
one you're with ain't that type of guy. There's only a handful of us, and he ain't it.
Yeah. And he goes further later in the comparisons to Sincere by basically saying, I've seen things in the show that you haven't, and you can do better than him. Like implying that she would be really shocked and change her mind about Sincere if she saw. So he's definitely happy to make that play of like, Sincere is not the right guy for you.
We better get movie night.
Oh, I need movie night. It got canceled last year, right? Because of all the Sierra stuff. So I've never actually seen one in real time. I like watched the season 6 movie night episode, but I had not seen the season. Che talks to Kata about her green eyes and how they'd look more green if she looked at the sun. And then she says, I can't look at the sun. My eyes are so sensitive. Most of us can.
Yeah.
We're all out here
Everybody's
looking at the sun.
Yeah, it's the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I go out.
Guess you don't have
I do
ocean
my sun
eyes.
salutations and I gaze directly into the burning orb for as long as I can.
Is this like a blue and green eye thing
The
where they're just
ocean
like, I'm so
eyes,
fragile, I'm
people-
so delicate, my eyes are too transparent.
I did
can't look at
have
the
my
sun."
9th grade biology teacher tell me I had weaker eyes because they were blue.
Oh.
Okay, well, at least that sounds a little bit less racist, but I
He
don't
also made
like
all
it.
volleyball players wear thongs as their uniform.
No, I'm
So,
okay. I'm gonna say it. This guy sounds
What?
like he should not have been working
Wait
at
a
a high
minute.
school.
yeah.
This was your high school what?
High school varsity
Chemistry
volleyball
teacher?
teacher.
The high school volleyball uniform of the high school you went to was thong underwear?
Thong under bike shorts.
Oh, I
He
see.
didn't want to see the panty line.
You can't be having panty line in volleyball, Claire.
Oh my god,
How do you think you're
that's
getting
so
good
upsetting.
at volleyball?
I usually say open the schools, but I'm going to say let's close all the schools until we figure out why this kind of teacher keeps occurring. It's not okay.
I just maybe no men coaching women's sports in high school. Maybe none of that.
Yeah.
That could be a good starting point. Casey pulls TT to discuss the day before. She apologizes for her reaction to him swapping beds and says that it was selfish, but a natural reaction because she does like him. And he says that she's his favorite right now.
Smart.
Later, the guys ask what he has in common with TT, and he just kind of smirks and laughs. They ask what he has in common with Aniya, and he's like, I have nothing in common with Aniya, bro. And even the other guys look shocked, and I have to imagine they're going to tell Aniya because they have been telling her shit that he's been saying.
It's insane. He went from calling her the blueprint to saying I have nothing in common with her. It's
And you will-
I've never seen this kind of like a shift.
And you will see people say like, oh, well, technically those don't conflict, right?
Yeah.
Sure. But it's very clear what energy he was trying to put forward about Aniya, which is like, you're my dream
Yes.
woman. You're aspirational. I want you. I'm going to make this work. Now it's like her. I've got nothing in common with her. Like
Yeah.
the tonal shift in the way he starts talking about her is very dismissive as opposed to idealizing.
The way that he's telling
Totally.
people about his feelings is being like right now is kind of like the Bachelor producers about Taylor Frankie Paul's season. We're not airing it right now.
Right now, exactly. We are not taking anything off the table. Trinity, Aniya, and Mela catch up back at the villa, and Melanie admits she really likes Corey, who spent the first night with Trinity. She wants to explore him. She still clearly is very focused on Sincere, but she's like, I will explore Corey. Trinity is like, that's cool. I don't feel any real connection with Corey or anyone. I just miss Bryce. It wouldn't feel right to bring anyone back from Casa because my heart isn't in it. She also tells the women that she's really scared Bryce will bring someone back. And she's talked about this several times. She talks about how being a woman of color, dating outside of her race, she still has this huge fear that she'll see him go back to what he knows. And he knows how much that scares her. In the confessional, she cries and says, I don't want to be someone you talk to just for a good time or for fun. She doesn't think it's like that with Bryce, but she's not around, and there might be someone badder, prettier, or smarter than her.
Not possible.
Impossible. She's up here. This fear seems really real, and I think being on the show, it's also exacerbated because there are obviously such strong incentives for men to lead these women along, especially I think the Black women on the show are often fan favorites, and people really don't like to see them being fucked with. And so there's such a strong incentive for the men to fake it. And so that can't help with that fear.
Yeah, like all of our dating game shows, they have a big problem with race, and UK is even worse, and Australia is even worse than that, I would say, in terms of like how that plays out. But US actually, like, I feel like has been the best about it in terms of like casting and casting people who actually like date outside their race and in the past, as opposed to just like, I don't know, all these liars.
Yeah. There's always more, like there's always more that could be done. Like it's never at a place where you really feel good about it.
No.
I would say.
Yeah.
Jaden and Caleb have been sharing a bed and they seem to be getting along. Super boring. She claims to have naturally blonde hair, but I can see her roots, so I don't know. She had like pink eye night one or something, and it seems to have cleared up, so I'm happy for her.
Okay.
I think maybe she irritated her eye with those enormous false lashes, which are now gone. And they kiss, which she says was not horrible. So maybe that's Caleb's problem.
Good enough.
Not horrible.
Yeah.
It's not that great. Casey and Corbin sit down for a chat so they can be absolutely disgusting together. These are
disgusting bros.
The disgusting bros. Corbin says he told Parmita that if she came in originally, he would have pulled her for more chats than Kenzie and coupled up with her. Casey says he's more physically attracted to TT than Aniya, and she pursued him. And what becomes abundantly clear is that he is super hung up on the fact that Aniya didn't stand behind his door.
Yes.
And he even brings up to Corbin how he used it as ammunition against her in an argument. Like, how can I trust that you're all about me when that first day you weren't? And then he says, like, back in the villa, my stock is going to go up. I'm not going to be begging for kisses because here I'm getting all the kisses I want.
Maybe they only watched last season. They don't know what movie night is. I don't know.
Honestly,
they're like competing for the most movie night footage. Corbin, sincere.
This is what made me believe truly that I think Casey is out on Aniya because he is not speaking about her respectfully.
Yeah, he's not.
It does seem like everything he's saying.
I think you might be
in
right.
his mind, it's completely done.
Right. Because you've got to know that the guys could bring this back to her, even if there's no movie night.
Yeah.
Like, no other guy is going this far and talking shit about their partner, except maybe Corbin. And all of this really seems based around, like, he wants more sex. He wants to be bigged up more. Like, he wants his ego to be fed by being chased. And, like, I get not feeling good about not having anyone standing behind your door, but she has consistently chose him at future recouplings. Sean pursued her. We know this. And she said, no, I'm going to continue with Casey. So I think there have been enough opportunities for her to show him that it's a justification. But what's really frustrating is that people have been dragging Aniya all over for making stuff up and like sabotaging the relationship and being too insecure. And clearly she's picking up on the fact that he's full of shit. Like something about like her intuition was going off. And now he's just laying it all out there. He's like, I resent her for not fucking me. I resent her for not chasing me from day one. And now that someone else is going to give me that attention, that's all I actually care about. Oh, so you didn't actually like Aniya.
Yeah, I think that is the case. I think he was with her just to stay in the show. And now that someone better has come along, once again, it's just about finding that justifiable reason to be a dickhead to this other person. So I wasn't stringing that person along. They had all this other shit. She didn't pick me in the beginning. We weren't French friesing as much as I'd like. Now I found the French frieser who will select me in this game. And that should be fine, right? Fourth audience, you still like me. Because this is justified.
I said I was open.
Yeah, don't all of the women watching this show agree that I should simply get to French fries whoever I want?
Exactly.
It's time for the big Villa Casa competition, Rising Temperatures, which is the fakest shit I've ever seen. The couples go against each other to perform a sexy action on the person in their like Casa couple, competing to see who can get the temperature highest first on a totally objective light up thermometer measuring how sexy they're being. And this is obviously rigged to set up a tie, and then they have the tiebreaker.
Yeah. And to me, it was very much, we talked about this on our recap. It reminded me so much of in Bachelor when they do the group dates that have the lie detector tests. And there's just a producer back there throwing the switch of like, oh, no, they're lying about that. It's like, what? So this was like designed pretty much, I think, to try and like piss off the other couple as well so that they can see the things going up. It's like, oh my God, what's Zach doing over there?
Yeah. Or heart rate
the problem with
challenge
it is,
where it's just the things that'll create the storylines.
yeah.
That's the answers.
But the problem with the idea of it, like that each couple in the separate location can see the thermometer going up and therefore have some kind of jealousy or anxiety or whatever about think about, oh, what are they doing over there? The problem with that is you already showed the women fucking on TV what these guys were doing on the night the bombshells came out, and this just pales in comparison. It's
This
so
works
bad.
more on the guys, I think. The women don't talk that much about it. I think they kind of understand where things stand now, but Kata beat Zach, and immediately he's like, I wonder what Kata was doing with Che. Like, what's she doing to him? I'm so jealous. And I'm like, the same fucking shit you've been doing, dude. Like, obviously.
Exactly.
So girls win the first three, the boys win the second. Caleb and Jen get tickle and they basically short circuit and start making out instead. I was like, this sucks. No one knows how to just be seductive. They just go straight to like humping and making out no matter what the trigger word is.
Correct.
You got to give us
But
some
I think
variety.
that's because they're trained to do that though, because all these challenges, it doesn't matter if it's, oh, we're playing soccer in a tub of neon goo. Oh, we're swinging around swords at a castle with neon goo. All of those challenges that they put them in are like, you pick a person, you make out with them, you pick a person, you get in the goo, you dry hump or wet hump them, I guess. You pick a person, you go in a shower with them and make out. Like, that's what all the challenges are.
Yeah,
so
they've
now
been
they're asking them
conditioned.
to like, oh, wait, hold back, only tickle in this one. That's never happened.
I was so dumb. I was like, how is Kenzie going to do splits from the word nibble? And I was so wrong. I was so dumb.
Yeah, immediately. Did a
Yeah.
handstand splits.
You can absolutely do splits while you nibble. Kenzie can do splits while she does anything.
I was so naive.
I also want to note that all of the boys and girls rush over after Casa's first win, which is the fourth competition, to chant "fuck you, Villa" at the Villa. And I was like, oh, who's being immature now?
Yeah.
The final
exactly.
tiebreaker is like the orgy. Everyone in each house like frantically is like kissing and humping at the same time. So I was so glad my dad had gone back to Indiana by this point. And the Villa girls win, which as they should, because whenever the boys won a competition, I was like, it could not be more obvious that they gave the boys that one so that it would be more even.
Yeah.
In a confessional, we see Casey saying he thinks the girls at the Villa are giving the Casa boys what the OG boys should have been getting.
Oh, I missed that.
I was like, first of all, they have been giving it to you. You guys have been doing all kinds of crazy shit during challenges. This is a challenge. They're doing the crazy shit. But like, just you couldn't miss the opportunity to say something sexually entitled about these women. Like, he's so resentful that Aniya didn't like give it up.
Yeah. He says,
But
I
it
wasn't
also, I
getting
think
the
he's
french
doing
fries.
he's doing a thing where he is also like it's about justifying this move that he knows he's going to make. In jumping from Aniya to his bombshell. He's trying to, I think, justify in his own mind, like all of the OGs, all of those women, write them off. Fuck it. We're on to the new thing now. And that's okay. Like he's trying to almost kind of like give it to us as an audience. Like he's pitching it a little bit, you know, like, see, they were bad. So me going with this new bombshell's okay, because this is what we should have been getting, right, everybody? You agree with me?
Yeah. I think this is something we always see also with these shows where men like switch, where they do like a Casa style challenge, is the men get so excited to have new girls Because, like, once you've known a girl for, like, one day, she has baggage and, like, she's been annoyed at you about something or, like, she likes your friend. And they just want a new, like, totally blank slate hot woman to attach to. And, like, we even see, like, Corbin earlier is like, oh, the Casa girls are better than the Villa girls and it's less cliquey. And I was like, oh, well, it's easy for you that they aren't friends with each other because then you can just make out with whoever. Like, that's basically what you're saying. Like, you just feel like it's fun that all these girls are here. They don't know anyone yet, and they'll just make out with you if you want.
They're less cliquey. They just met each other.
They're less cliquey. Exactly. Like, there's definitely a strategy at play, but I do think that it's a very real psychological thing that, like, Casey felt entitled to sex. He was pissed off that other guys were getting it and he wasn't. And that built up more and more resentment toward Aniya that, like, I think he would have ridden this out much better and perhaps stuck with her happily until the end if he had been getting that.
I agree.
And the last thing that happens in this batch of episodes, we're here. Trinity gently lets Corey down and tells him she isn't really feeling it. She's like, I'm rooting for you. Go out there and explore. And Corey's like, great. I want to focus on Melanie. This is when he tells Melanie that he's seen a lot of Sincere that he's done that she hasn't seen. And this makes Melanie emotional. She's like, he's saying Sincere is lying to me. Am I still getting played? Meanwhile, we see Sincere cuddling with Amora and telling her he wanted to really open up and give her 100%. And she makes it easy. And she's like feeding him lines too. I find it hard to get worked up about this because I just feel like Sincere is just going through the motions at this point.
100%.
And I'm like, whatever. This isn't hitting like the Brinity edit at the end of last episode for me.
I agree 100%.
Any final takeaways on this batch of episodes that we somehow missed in the last 2.5 hours?
My big takeaway, I think, is this season is a little less interesting to me than the past two seasons. And so far, the big moment from this season is probably Kenzie's angry splits. That to me was the funniest moment, the moment that is kind of like the most iconic moment. And I would also say by this point last season, we already had the episode with Megan Thee Stallion, which I thought was one of the best episodes in the history of all reality television. And we don't have that at all this season. They have not brought in a celebrity who is like a super fan to either sell their wares or host a date or whatever. There's just a little something missing to me in this season.
Yeah.
I think you're missing an A couple or like any romantic storyline you can root for. And for some people that is Brinity. I'm happy for them that they can feel that. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I loved so much how they introed Casa, and it seems like they put a lot of thought into it, and it's just like the producers of Love Island like care about it as like an art, and there's like care and strategy put into it that like is very refreshing versus some of the things we've been seeing out of the Bachelor franchise recently. Mostly nothing.
Yes. Agreed. Well, I think we should wrap it up there so that you guys can go back to your lives.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for spending almost 3 hours breaking down this week with me. I appreciate you guys so much. Would you like to let our listeners know, if they somehow don't know, where to find you and your work?
Well, our Instagram handle is Game of Roses. Is it pod?
Pod, I
Game of Roses.
I think so. Yes.
And you can download the Game of Roses podcast anywhere that fine podcasts are purveyed.
I'm Pace Case.
YouTube and all of it. Just look up Game of Roses.
We have a Patreon,
Yes.
patreon.com/Game of Roses.
Thank you so much for joining me. This was super fun, and I hope we can do it again soon.
Thanks so much for
Yeah,
having
our
us.
pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Congrats to Emma. So exciting.
And on that note, that's it for this episode of Love to See It with Emma and Claire. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Love to See It is a presentation of Odyssey. The show is produced by us, Claire Fallon, and Emma Gray. Our production assistant is Tatiana Kenese-Smith, who also edits our video. This episode's audio was edited by Tamika Weatherspoon. Our theme music is by Tamar Haviv, and our art is by Aaron Nestor. If you like the show, please follow us, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. And of course, tell all your friends about our show. If you want to get in touch, you can email us at claireandemmapod@gmail.com. You can also find us on TikTok at Love to See It Pod and Instagram at Claire and Emma Pod. And you can find our newsletter, Rich Text, on Patreon at patreon.com/richtext. I'm also on Blue Sky and Threads and Instagram at Claire E. Fallon. Special thanks to the team at Odyssey, Eric Donnelly, Peter Arriaga, Kate Rose, Moira Curran, Melissa Wester, and Hillary Schiff. We'll be back soon.